All right, guys. We have two beautiful young ladies all the way from Toronto, You cheese me, fam.
Sick, man. Bruh.
Give it up for your blocks.
Yay, oh my God, let's give it up for us.
Give it up. Give it up, guys.
You are a brave man for taking us on. I'll tell you that, sir.
Oh,
honestly, like when you contacted us, I was like to Eden, like honestly, any guy that is like, yo, like want you guys both at the same time on my podcast, I'm like, honestly, respect. Like,
thank you. I appreciate that. So guys, real quick, on the left in the black, we have Eden. On the right, we have Simona. Real quick, Eden and Simona, quick introduction. Maybe say, I don't know, name, occupation. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, what is going on? I don't know. Can I say that I'm on EI right now? Like, I don't know.
What's EI?
John, like unemployment insurance.
Oh yes, yeah, true. Go on.
Hey guys, we're in a fucking pandemic. Like,
yes.
I would be a bartender / server, but it's shut the fuck down right now. So EI checks. What's up, John?
Like, okay. Hi guys, I'm Eden, one of the co-hosts of your blog.
Like, so professional.
Already excited. And I'm a personal shopper and stylist. And then we do this full time, which we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, Instagram, all of that. Plug. Hello.
Shameless plug. Literally was just gonna say that. I'm like,
yeah, please, you gotta plug yourself. So let's dive into this, guys. So I found your content because whenever I see women talking about relationships and players, fuck boys, it's always cool to talk and see a woman's perspective. Now, the question I must ask, in order for this conversation to even make sense, do you think that men and women are completely equal?
I think that in of itself, the question is a bit tricky because it's hard to say yes or no to that. It depends in what regard, to be honest with you. And I do think that anybody that comes in and says men are equal to women or men are unequal or there are so many double standards are already problematic in my opinion. I think that it's all circumstantial. You need to provide us with context for us to even answer that question, in my opinion.
Okay, so I'll answer first.
I feel like for that question, I feel like we want to say yes because that's what we would like in an ideal world, right? We would love to be like, yes, we're equal to men, but many men, and I think that this is why context is important, is because many men have literally thrown that in my face and been like, well, if we're equal, then, and I'm like, okay, like, let's just twist it to your advantage.
And we both have brothers. And we both love our brothers, and we both are pro our brothers. We have fathers
pro that we our love. Brothers,
like
fathers
we
love.
Want to see them win. So it's none of that shit. Like we were raised with men. We were actually like we only used to hang out with guys too.
Yeah,
and you can tell that by the way we talk and like our angle for sure. So yeah, we definitely wish and hope that there is equality in all regards, but in reality, is there all the time? No, in certain situations, there definitely isn't. So
okay. So the reason why I asked that question is because I feel like men and women aren't equal because we're judged on different things, right? So, for example, a man doesn't have to be handsome to be loved and respected in this world. He can just be very, very successful, respect from men and lust from women because he can provide and give her offspring the best life possible, college, etc. While a woman, it's more based off her looks, right?
110%.
So, for example, you two women roll up to a nightclub, you're getting in for free, ball service, 1942, pour down your throat, the whole echelon, right?
This is so funny that you bring this up, and I don't want to sidetrack it, but this is generally what we tend to do when something like comes to our head. We're like, yo, let's just do a little story time, quick story time. Hilarious because yes, that is true. 99.9% of the time, you are 110% right. And a lot of my guy friends growing up, high school, university, they promoted, they were at the clubs, yo, bring you, your girls, we got you, like everything is good. Like Simona went out $0. Like I'm literally like, yo, I got no money.
The money makers,
like, literally, because yo, you get a group of 10 girls, 10 good looking girls, they're in there, guys are spending money. And when I went out with Eden and I was like the first time, like our very first night, I was like, we're waiting in a line.
Wait, why are you blaming me?
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying for me, it was definitely new. And I'm not trying to say like, oh my God, I'm like the hottest girl. No, I'm just saying I hadn't experienced that yet. So I was like, what do you mean? Like we don't know somebody that's inside that can get us in? And she's like, you know what? Let me patch up this guy real quick and let me see. And then we got in and I was like, okay, great. Because it is like, as a girl, you're like, I don't want to be waiting in line, man.
Facts.
I came here to not wait in line. I looked good. I spent 3 hours making sure I looked the fuck good.
$300 later.
You better make sure that I'm good.
Absolutely. And those it's how it works. The world is sexist. A lot of women love when sexism benefits them, but hate it when it doesn't benefit them, right? 100%. And then they want to point out about equality, right? So I feel like men and women aren't equal, and that's just okay. You know, it's just okay, and we think differently about a lot of things. Let's roll right into it. The first thing that is a big debate, we made a video on this yesterday, is the whole nice guy thing. Two things that have been said. I've never been able to articulate the thought, but yesterday I was able to finally articulate it, and it did a great job. I think women say two things about nice guys. They hide their intentions, number one. And number two is you shouldn't do something for a girl with hopes for something in return. Let's talk about that. Number one.
Okay. I'm gonna wait, hold on. You had another point. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna talk about wanting nothing in return.
Okay.
Eden and Simona. You guys are friends with each other because you get something in return. You guys bring each other value, happiness, love, value. The second you don't bring value to her or vice versa, you're done. Everything in life is transactional. You want something from Eden and someone wants something from Eden, or you know what I'm trying to say, right? So it's like you guys are, it's a transactional without money. It's an emotional thing. Okay.
Exactly.
So everybody does something for someone with something in return. If I open the door for you and you just walk through, I'm like, damn, bitch, can't even say thank you. But then you're gonna point me and go, why you want something in return? We all want something in return. Everyone.
Okay, 100%. You give what you get kind of concept, right? You would hope that what you give would be reciprocated back if you're dealing with a decent human being, first and foremost. I already think that the good boy versus bad boy mentality or concepts are misconstrued to the maximum because people don't actually know the definition of a good guy versus a bad guy, right? So if you're out here saying that the good guy wants something, or like the reason why he's a good guy is because he's not actually telling you he wants something in return, we all know as human beings that it would be kind and great if you are a decent human being to give something back, right? So it depends on the quality of girl that you're first of all fucking around with, number one, right? So yes, I think it matters. Like, I'm not going to pick Simone as a friend if she doesn't know how to be a decent human being, point blank, period. And that is knowing that if I'm going to respect her, I expect respect back.
Exactly. I also think that, like, in general terms, not to like name this as a good boy or a bad boy, but I think if we want to blanket everything and be like just a good human at the end of the day, you gravitate towards people that would do for you what you would do for them. Right. And also, I think that once you tap in and go a little bit deeper, you opening the door for me, yes, sure, maybe you wanted a high or something like that. Maybe I wasn't in the headspace because I had a really bad, emotionally draining morning and I couldn't give you that high or hello that you wanted. But inside, and I know you wouldn't feel this or know this, but you could have made my day and changed my fucking mood. Do you know what I mean? So it's like doing things not for what other people are going to do for you, but for what it does for you. How good did you feel opening that door for her?
And if you're hoping on somebody else's response or outcome for that fulfillment, that's already you doing something not for yourself or for being a good human being. You're doing it with hopes of getting something in return, which is already not how you should go into anything with. I know that sounds contradictory, but if you really think about it, if you do something out of the goodness of your own heart, like donate, you don't know who you're donating to, but you're donating money or something, or you're doing something that makes you feel good in return. Because like, hey, you know what? Fuck her. She didn't say thank you. Even if she was a bitch or whatever it is, you know what? Fuck her. But at least I know I'm a sick ass, amazing ass human being today. I opened the door for somebody that makes me feel good, and I can go home knowing, you know what, whatever, because my happiness, my fulfillment is not reliant on others. And I think that that's maturity.
It's also, I just want to add in, because I want to let you speak, doing that and knowing that, hey, obviously she didn't say hi or she didn't whatever. She's going through it. I did something good for her. At least I know that I did something good for someone that wasn't in the headspace, or maybe I think didn't deserve it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. So I think this goes back to the two things can be true at once. We all would like something in return. a thank you or a head nod or something. But
Right.
but at the same time, it's like the person that ignores you, it makes you feel bad in that moment, right? Of course. So I feel like you can go both ways. In the comment section, someone said that. Yes, in a perfect world, we should not want anything in return just from the goodness of our hearts. But at the end of the day, we're all somewhat greedy of something. We all want something back, right? So to say ignore that feeling, like for example, if I were to donate to charity right now, I'm not seeing the people I'm donating to. If I walk up to a
Exactly.
homeless guy, I give him a five, and he goes, "Damn, bro, only $5." I'm like, "Nigga, what? You're home?" Like I wouldn't go. You know what? You're right. I shouldn't like. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like we want people to have respect for our deeds, right? And
But
of
here's
course,
the thing.
Right. But
in a
it's
perfect
also
world,
like
go on.
the expectation, and I've learned this too, and this is like a general life thing. The expectation is what disappoints you. You put that on yourself.
No expectation, no disappointment. So if you're gonna do something, if you're gonna buy a drink for a girl across the fucking room,
Let's talk about it.
Let's
talk about it.
You're gonna buy a drink for a girl across the room because you're like, this is my move. I'm gonna pull her right now. She looks thirsty, baby. I'm gonna send her a motherfucking drink.
Yeah.
You send her a drink. She accepts the drink. She drinks it. She's cheersing with her girl. She looks at you and says, thank you, but does not approach you. Are you pissed that you just wasted $10, $15, $20 on a drink? Why? If you're pissed, why? Because you expected that that is going to be the way and the reason and almost a sense of entitlement that I deserve her now because I bought her a drink. She owes me a response. She owes me, right? She doesn't owe you shit.
There's that sense of obligation.
If you're going to do something, you're making that decision. You're a grown-ass man, you're a grown-ass woman. You have to know that there's two ways this is going to go. One, I'm going to bag her.
Yes.
Two, I might not.
And it's all about, at the end of the day, in dating and in life, is taking accountability. You are making a choice to do something. I don't know what you want to do. You have to take it upon yourself to think, hey, could go this way, could go this way. Am I cool either way? Am I good?
And
Am I
that's when
solid?
you make the move.
And that's when you make the move.
So
Exactly.
let's talk about the drink thing, right? Because a drink thing is a complete total stranger. For a man to think that he can get a woman to swoon over him over a Patron in tonic water is a little slow, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that one was just strangers and they never met. So him banking on the drink is like that. Those odds are very low. I wouldn't. So that's a great example, though. That's an amazing example. But to me, the odds of swooning over a random stranger who probably gets a drink spot for her every night is not the best move. But I feel like this, right? And the next thing about the whole nice guy thing is shoot, I wrote down
I was actually, if you mind, I'm just going to jump in with the drink thing. Yes,
let's talk about
I'm not impressed with a guy necessarily buying me a drink. I'm not going to be like, okay, here you go, pants pulled down, let's go, baby. No, but hello. If I think you're attractive and you initiated that, and I look over because I didn't pay much attention to you, but now I am because you bought me a drink and I'm saying thank you. You're not approaching me. You're giving me the drink and you're saying, babe, do what you want with it. I just want to buy you a drink. There's no obligation. That is a winner. That is the game for me right then and there, because normally if a guy buys me a drink and then comes up to me expecting a response, I'm like, yo, fuck
Yeah.
you. But if you buy me a drink and let me be, I'm more enticed. I'm actually more attracted to you at this point because you let me be, because you just showed me that you're not like every other guy that's expecting something in return. You're like,
right,
baby, here you go. I don't care what you do with it,
but
enjoy.
It's also just a nice gesture.
It
like
is.
For girls that are like yes, 110% depends on the guy, the vibe, the scene, the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the type of girl that you are, like when I go to clubs, generally not my vibe. I'm already like I want to get out of here. I don't like it. So if a guy sends me a drink and he doesn't approach, I'm like, honestly, like, respect so much because you're letting me do my thing. You're acknowledging me, but I don't feel that pressure and you're not coming over to me and putting that pressure on me. Do you know what I mean?
You're shooting your shot and you're letting her do what she wants with it.
Absolutely. So now in my video, I've never seen any content creator or anyone do this. So I was proud of myself for this. I flipped it on its head. How would you feel, Eden, Simona, met a guy, been going on dates with him. Eventually it goes from like dates to like somewhere serious. You're more submissive to him, cooking, cleaning, met his mom. And then after 4 months, you're like, wait a minute, where's this going? And he goes, I don't owe you anything. You're going to look at him stupid, right? Because you're like, wait a minute. I've given you my time, my affection, my body, and you don't want a relationship from me? Now he's a fuck boy. He's a this, he's a that, he's a this. So it's girls kind of doing this whole deflection thing with nice guys. It's like it's almost like a let's push the accountability away. That man took you on a date. You knew exactly what he wanted from you. When a guy takes you on a date, I feel like you guys know he's not trying to go skip with you in the park. He wants to blow your back out. He's just trying to do it the nice way.
Okay, I have to stop you and just get some clarification because you
Please.
mentioned there was a couple of months. It had become a routine thing. We're hanging out. I'm coming to your house. I'm cooking. I'm cleaning.
Yeah.
At that point, it is categorized as a fucking relationship. Right?
Sure. You could.
I'm not trying to deflect because 310%, like, and we hold women accountable when accountability is due. Like, trust me, if anybody holds people accountable, like, it's fucking us. So I get that there's a group of women that may do that and be like, whatever. There's also a group of guys that might do that, whatever. I think the biggest underlying issue here is there any transparency? Because yes, if you're taking me on multiple dates, depending on what the date is, I'm going to think you want to vibe with me more than just for sex, especially if it's going on months.
Point blank period. If you're allowing her for 4 months to cook and clean and spend time in your space like that, you are telling her that you're no longer a fuck buddy. That's on you, man. And I'll tell you why, because here's the thing. A fuck buddy, girls want to be fuck buddies too. Girls have needs too. Hey, hello, hi, it's me. Like 110%. But I know my space. And if you are going to allow me to stay in your home,
yeah,
and cook and clean for you without being like, babe, you don't got to do that. Like, don't worry about it. Let's head out. Let's go. You're feeding into the narrative and you like it low key because you want her to cook and clean for you. So what you're doing is you're actually using and abusing your privileges at that moment of being a fuck buddy / no title buddy and allowing her to get to that point where she does then look at you and says, wait, what are we?
Yeah.
And why the fuck have you been allowing me to do that? Yes, she can hold herself responsible because us as women, to be honest with you, women, we tell women all the time, don't do that. Don't do that until you fucking know point blank period. And that's transparency. So yes, we hold women accountable because no woman should be doing that to a man she doesn't know who the fuck he is. Like, sorry, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But if you're also not going to step in and be like, wait, I'm now aware that you're behaving like you're my girlfriend, because that's girlfriend behavior right there.
100%.
And you're not stopping her. That's also on you.
It's benefiting you. And that's why you have not told her to stop.
So let's talk about that. Women... Okay, let's do it. This is you guys are going. This is okay. So this is the thing. Women value attention more than men. Okay, women attention's like number one. Men, it's sex. Women will use nice guys for dates and dates and dates. The guy spends more money and more time, right? So I can say the same thing. Wait a minute. If you're in a relationship with me, why are you going on dates with me? It's almost like it's a double. It's like you guys are both talking about like investment. Nice guy spent money, women spent her body. We both invested. We both invested.
There's a disconnect.
Here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about your money because we're not those types of girls. Okay. We don't give a fuck. We have our own money.
There's a lot of women, I think, that don't give a fuck about your money, but I think that you guys, and there's certain celebrities that are hyping this, like, make money, take him for a ride, all these bitches, and like that's being glorified left, right, and center on social media. There's still, I'm gonna say 90% of real life women, like in your city, in your community, that don't give two fucks about your money and what you're spending. I think that women of value and substance are like, listen, if I don't vibe with you, I'm gonna be straight up with you. And that's just me. Some women won't. But I think that a woman that knows herself and knows her value and her worth is going to be like, listen, I just don't see it like that. If you're cool hanging out as just friends, then I'm down, but it's strictly platonic.
And here's the thing. If she wants you to be okay, first of all, you should not be taking her on dates. And I tell my brother this all the time. Don't let a girl fucking use and abuse you, son. Because yes, you are paying for dates. And yes, you are doing what you've been raised to do, right? As a man, all this stuff, because it feels good for him and he wants to do that, right? Because he's confident in himself and he has the means to do it. He takes her out because he has the money to take her out with, right? But he's not going to do that if he knows, I don't want to take you seriously, or she's not taking me seriously. And that's because he touches base with her. This is where I think that a lot of guys get scared of communication because you're like, yeah, that kills the fucking buzz, that kills the game. Me being like, yo, listen, we're just fucking though. Let me tell you something. And this is where I feel like a lot of guys have got this all wrong. There is nothing, because the bar is so fucking low now, there is nothing more refreshing than a transparent motherfucker. If you sit there at a table with me third date and say, hey, listen, I'm just going to reiterate this if you didn't already know. I'm not interested in anything serious, but I fucking love spending time with you. I'm turned on.
110%.
I'm turned the fuck on. Even if my mind, and I'm exposing women right now. Even if my mind was like, I want a relationship and this and that and that, I'm exposing women right now because, yo, I'm fucking with you. I love the fact that you're transparent, man. That's hot to me. You just told me what it is, and no man ever tells it like it fucking is. For the most part, not all men.
That's again, it's again generalizing. Not all men are like this. 310%. Just want to specify.
And guys, we're older, so anyone that's watching this, we're not like 17, 20. We're older,
like we're pushing like late 20s. So like that's why. Like we've been through all of this stuff, and like for me, even when I was younger, I'm like, I always say this. I'm like, if you tell me what it is from the jump, and I said this to you last night, if you tell me what it is from the jump, I'm actually more inclined to fuck with you and give you what you want because I know now not to get attached. But it's like, but you guys, or guys, some guys use those tactics and because they think they need to in order to pull her. And it's like, do we have to put you on game or what's the vibe? What's the vibe here?
Got you. So I want to also go back to the whole nice guy thing because I want to go at it a bit more with it. So my argument is when man gives, I guess a boyfriend vibe to a girl and doesn't give it to him because it doesn't doesn't give her the title, he's a fuck boy. When a nice guy takes a girl out on 3-4 different dates, intimate, and doesn't get a relationship where she goes, oh, well, like, I don't owe you anything. I owe you the relationship. I owe you sex. Now the nice guy gets demonized. So it's like basically the women can call him a fuck boy, but the men get called nice guys. So I'm saying is both people are investing, but one comes out winner, one's a loser.
I think you're looking at it very dumbed down, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to be rude. I think it's a very dumbed down concept and idea because what you're doing is you're blanket terming everything right now. In reality, though, I think that when guys are coming out here and they're like coming on here and they're like, you know what? I want to hang out with her. So I'm going to take her on dates. I just want to fuck her though. Without telling her that, you're coercing her into that. You're giving her the boyfriend like vibe. You know that you are. You know that you are because you know that women are more emotional human beings than they are physical, right? We know this. This is science. This is not a surprise to anybody. So you're using that angle because you think you need to use that angle, right? So you're going in being like, nah, I'm going to be all emotional, take her on dates, try and win her over that way because she's going to
say what I need to say. I'm going to do what I need to do.
That's coercing.
I'm going to give her what she's looking for in order to get this.
Right.
The reason why I think the labels are just doing such a disservice, to be honest, is because you cannot blanket term or fill every situation into those one or two. Because there's so many different situations where the lines get blurred. And I think it's more so about reading the situation that you're currently in and using all of these different concepts and principles and whatever you guys are reading and learning, apply that to real life and also tweak it to the situation.
So it's critical thinking, right? So let's say you take a girl on a date, you're on a third date and you're like, I want her to be my girlfriend, but she's just not fucking with me. And she's telling me, like you said, that, hey, I don't owe you nothing, right? You got to be smart. You got to be smart. Why are you taking her out on 3 dates and spending bank on somebody that you're unsure of and how they feel? Why are you unsure of them? Well, because you haven't had that fucking conversation. You haven't actually inquired about, hey, where's your head at? Hey, are you going out on dates with me just to fucking use me? You don't obviously say it like that, but you ask for you ask. And you don't take her out on extravagant for the first 3 dates. Be smart, man. I tell my brother this all the time. Don't spend your motherfucking hard-earned money on a bitch you don't know with motives you don't know. Because here's the thing. She's a fucking stranger. You don't know her. You will not know her by the third date. Period. Right? So you gotta be smart. You can get creative. You can be thoughtful and take on a little.
Let's go for a coffee. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for this. Like you want to do dates where you get, and here's the thing with dating, it's all about energy and vibes. To be honest with you, I don't care whether you're thinking about it or not. You want to see what's her vibe. Am I vibing with her? What is that energy like? Are we connecting on multiple layers outside of sex? But if you're just in it for sex, still, the sex is going to be better if you guys are vibing, right?
100%.
So I also think like for guys and girls, like tap in. Where are you at? How are you feeling? And yes, me saying yes to a date does not mean we're gonna fuck, because I gotta see if we're vibing first.
And that's a woman's brain. And so knowing what a woman is thinking and educating yourself on what women want from a woman, which is a really important conversation that I know we both agree or disagree on, is important. You need to know what a woman's looking for, what she likes, what she doesn't like from a woman. I know that men know the game and think that they know the game, but at the end of the day, there's a lot that we can go into about the fish situation that I think we're going to speak about at one point, because we need to discuss that.
So what is it that you want to know or get our perspective of or understand about the good guy?
Yeah, so the things aren't still connecting with the whole nice guy thing with me, because it's like, okay, majority of men on the third date may not be expressive. Hey, so this is our third date. Where is this going? Right? I feel like it's a bit they'll wait a bit longer. Because I have guys who DM me all the time. Hey man, it's been 4 or 5 different dates, and she still doesn't want to sleep with me, but I know she's still sleeping with other guys. I know for a fact she still is. Right? So it so happens is that guy, if you were to go to TikTok, hey guys, it's been a date number 5 and she still hasn't slept with me. Women would beat his, you shouldn't expect anything. Like they'd whoop his ass in the comments. When a woman goes, hey, I went on 4 dates with a guy and we've been sleeping together, but he wouldn't give me a relationship. He's now the guy is now a demon. And the woman's like, so it's like, you know what I'm saying, where it's like a woman displaying her.
Guys get penalized for the same shit that girls do, is what you're trying to say, right?
Guys will be put as a demon if he were to come out and say a girl, I went on 4 dates with a girl and never had sex with her. He'd be a demon. When a woman does it, it says, oh, I had sex with a guy in any relationship. Now you're a queen. He's a demon.
Okay, so here's
it's not that though.
So here's the thing: it's the blame game. If you're already going in there being like, "Oh my god," like they're blaming, like you're already losing, in my opinion. Don't be focused on the blame game. Be smart, and it's not that difficult, because it's like, hey, why are you going on a 5th date with her? She hasn't already fucking slept with you. If your end goal, which there's no shame, shame. And we're women out here saying, you want to just date to fuck, by all fucking means.
Let them know that you're dating to fuck, though.
And you don't say that, hey, I'm dating to fuck. Hi, how are you? My name is like whatever. No, the first or second date, you let her know. You let her know your fucking status. And that's not going to be a cock block. That's nothing. She's going to value, like I said before, all you got to do literally is be like, yo, listen, like I'm having a great time with you. I just want to let you know, out of respect to you and out of respect to me, like I'm not interested in dating and all. I don't want to waste your time. I appreciate you. And point blank, period. She'll get the hint, man. That's as crystal clear as you can get with a woman.
Exactly.
And she'll either sleep with you or she'll say, you know what? Third date,
it's not for me. Exactly. You're allowing her the opportunity to decide at that point, hey, listen, this is what it is. I think there's a lot of underlying factors that go into us actually, or at least I feel like, addressing this bigger issue, because it's like, why are you dating? What's your end goal? Are you confident in who you are as a person? And what age group are we talking to and appealing to right now? Because if you're younger, you don't really want a relationship. And when you're younger, let's talk about a 17-year-old boy and a 17-year-old girl. He's dating to fuck. She's dating because, well, what was the narrative that 17-year-old girls have been fed all their life? Like, hello, we grew up watching Disney, so we're told that we need a fucking man. So that's what she's looking for. Of course she wants a relationship because that's what she's told. Whereas boys are told, let's just fuck. And if we're talking about fucking, there's nothing wrong. I think that everybody needs to understand their bodies and understand how to fuck. Like it's not so much more a dating at this point. It's about, like, if we're dating to fuck, like, let's at least know how to fuck.
Which is lacking
for most guys, but we don't want to talk about that. We're trying our best, honestly, to understand and answer this narrative of the good guy, but because we just genuinely do not believe in labels and good guy versus bad guy, because as you grow older, the bad guy, as you develop yourself, he becomes less appealing. Like, let's be honest.
Here's the reality of it. I think what you're looking for is good guy with good game, not bad guy, not good guy. It's what is your fucking game? And your game, point blank, period. If you want to have good game, I need a man to tell me like it fucking is, so I know what game I'm gonna pull out. If I can be aligned with you. You want the freaky bitch to come out? That's when you need to be transparent. No, I'm being honest with you.
I know you're being honest, but there's so many ideas that are coming into my head, and I'm trying to like, okay,
Chad, take it away.
Chad, please take it away and ask me a question.
I'm gonna ask a yes or no question, and I don't want a tangent. It's yes or no. We'll move on to the next thing. So you're saying, you're saying, because there's more things I want to talk about. So like, you're saying it's different, woman being used for sex and man being used for dates. There's like, so you're saying is they're different. They're not the same. They are different.
No, I'm not saying that. No.
Okay, so
I think that it's okay. So I don't think it's the same. It's very, like,
here's the thing. I can totally respect and understand that you just want yes or no question and you want us to move on. Dude, I totally fucking respect that. But at the same time, we just part of your blocked and like our mission statement is always to provide context and explanation, because there's probably a million, or maybe not a million, but like, let's be nice to ourselves. A million people watching this, could be potentially. And I think that the younger the audience, the more context they need. And I think that it's our job, if we're going to get on here, to provide that context for them. That's just where I'm at.
Yeah, I just made it. Honestly, you can go and watch it. I made a video last night, and very, very little kickback with the whole double standard of kind of like, where a nice guy will go on a date, take a girl out on 3-4 dates, and maybe A wants a relationship, or B wants, and he wants sex, and he doesn't get it. And when he doesn't get it, and he talks about it, he may be demonized for saying why you want things in return. But when a woman goes on TikTok, hey, slept with this guy, did nice things for him, never got a relationship, he's now a fuckboy. So the guy gets demonized for wanting something in return, and the woman is sympathized. That's why there's a disconnect for me.
Absolutely. And I have a question for you then.
Go ahead.
So why don't you tell her like it is? Why don't you like how is she supposed to know that you want sex or you want a date?
Well, I feel like
if a guy is asking me on 3 dates, 4 dates, I haven't fucking slept with him.
That's up to you though, because the man of course is escalating for sex. You're the one that's going, no, we should.
No, but not of course, because there are some guys who are 17, 18, like my brother, 21 years old, who wants a fucking girl. He's fucked.
Angel
wants a girl to call his, wants to pamper her, wants to treat her like a queen because he knows he gets tenfold in return. So how am I gonna know you? Let's say you asked me on a date, Chad. Okay, let's get real fucking personal here. You asked me on a date, you're probably like, bitch, fuck no.
Bitch, fuck no.
Listen, no, I take both of you guys out. Like,
yeah. No, listen, love you.
But I love you. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
No, so let's say you asked me on a date.
Yeah.
It's your second, third date. You haven't pulled a move. I haven't pulled a move because we're both. No, Chad, listen. Chad, you're taking me on a dinner. You're walking me to my car. You're saying, text me when I get home, and I go home.
I'm sorry. Game.
TikTok coming out, by the way. Anyways, you asked me on a date. It's our third date. You're taking me to dinner again. Thank you so much, Chad. The fuck am I supposed to think? Right? Okay. Like I'm being honest with you, because I've been in situations where I'm trying to fuck. Listen, I'm being honest. I'm trying to fuck because I'm not interested in a relationship right now at this point in stage in my life. Whatever. I'm going out on my second, third date. This guy's taking me beautiful. I appreciate everything. It turns me on to a degree. But then I'm like, okay, you're asking for a fourth date and I didn't fuck you. So I know you're interested in something serious. So I'm backing away because I want to fuck. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you need to tell me.
You need to read the situation. You got to pick up on the social cues.
Listen. Most men would like to, okay, I know I'm not invalidating your experiences. I guarantee you there's been times where men take you out and they even give you a compliment or even flirt with you. Like, what the hell is this? We're coworkers, right? So I understand that. But I feel like majority of men are going to either A, ask you back to their place the first date, because I know I would, or B, would make a move and kind of like save it, right? For example, I'm walking you to your car.
Yeah. Good night.
I'm legit. I'm gonna do a small kiss. Have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Right? Yeah. Small. Right?
As you should.
I'm gonna make a move, so I want intimacy from you. So men, make sure you try to make some type of move intimately by the first or second date, because if you don't, it can leave her in the question zone of what this is.
Yes, 110%. But speaking of that, if she's not vibing, you need to pick up on that.
So you know what I mean? Make a move.
So like if me and you go on a date and you're just like, man, I'm unsure, I don't know, don't do it. Do not do it. Don't put yourself in that position, because like you've said, I think you said it in your TikToks, and I think we've said it too. You know when someone likes you. Think about the last person that you know liked you. Think about how they acted, what they did. And just if you're ever unsure, confused, is this person acting like that? And my man and my girl, if they're not, they're just not interested. And it's okay. Take the L and move the fuck on.
Chad, it kind of goes full circle, right? So it's kind of like, you're going to pull a move on me, right?
Yeah.
But also you might not want to. Why? Because there's that narrative that's being pushed by women predominantly. And I think it's valid. I think it's valid that, hey, listen, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable. I'm not sure. I need more than one date to know. 100%. I need more than one date to know, which is 100% okay. You should give yourself, and all the guys that are watching this, you should give yourself a time limit. 3-4 dates. If you don't fucking know what she's in it for, and you've pulled small, respectful moves when the moment calls for it, guys, body language, fucking how she's behaving, if she's being touchy,
what she's saying, how she's doing, is she being funny, is she putting her hand on your leg, hand on your arm? If I am not interested in you, my man, I won't sit beside you. I won't fucking touch you. I will make sure my hand when I'm getting the salt does not even fucking touch your arm.
And here's also another narrative that's been pushed by some men, actually. And you can chime in if you disagree or whatever, but this is all I've heard growing up, right? And we're a little bit older, but growing up, don't fuck him until the third date. So hold up. I'm not supposed to fuck you till the third date if I want to be taken seriously. I don't agree with it. I'm not saying I agree with it. I don't agree 100%. With it. We made videos on this 100 times over. We don't agree with it. However, some girls still walk around thinking that, which is fine if that's what they feel comfortable with. So I'm going to wait till the third date because I'm not quite sure. You're already on the third date. You're antsy. You're pissed off, right? See how these
I also want to know, though, like, I want to know what you think.
Yeah.
Because this is a narrative, like sex on the first date. Because we're already going there, I just want to ask you to say yes or no.
Yeah, of course.
She fucks you on the first date. What's your vibe? Because a lot of guys are like, man, I can't take her seriously. One and done.
So the old me, back before I started like legit studying women, was she's a hoe. When I started reading and to learn more about women, sex for them on the first date is more situational, right? Is she fresh from a breakup? Is she really feeling you? Because I guarantee you, because one thing about girls, they treat all men differently. One man hasn't fucked in 4 dates. One dude can fuck first hour. It's all about how you make her feel in that moment. So I learned that, it's not all about, is she a hoe? Now I'll do a hoe check. I'll ask her a question. I'll ask you, is there any I'll say, is there a guy right now you've been going on dates with, you haven't had sex with? And she goes, oh yeah, there's like 60. Okay, she's not a hoe. Because like there's still plenty of men waiting their turn, and I got it the first opportunity I got. So that's what I'll ask.
Have you experienced girls being that forward and open with you, saying, yes, I have guys on the rotation? Or have you caught them saying no, but you can read their body language and be like, I don't really trust her?
Listen, if I'm messing with her, she's like an 8, 9, or a 10. Like, so she has blue check marks, athletes, and entertainers. Like, any girl I'm messing with has a rotation. Unless one girl I know who's a square.
Why do you go for those girls?
Well, I go for those girls because I feel like, all right, so as a young kid, I was very unattractive. I was small, often friend zoned, not a lot of female attention. And I said, damn, I can't wait till I can have my shot at these baddies, because I get friend zoned by them. They like me as a person. I'm funny, I'm cool, but they don't want me physically. So when I get taller and more handsome, I'm gonna run through them like Drake through the 6. I'm gonna have them all, right? So now that I'm 6'2", 6'1", beards coming in, curls are fly as hell. I dress fly as hell. I smell good. Like, I'm having my time now. So I'm gonna get.
You're essentially getting revenge, essentially.
Yeah, in a way. I never
all of that hurt and that pain. So you're like, listen, let me put all these guys on this game and how to run game on these fuck bitches, basically.
Well,
correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, so you say it again, please. Make sure before I agree, I heard it right. Before I agree. Before I agree.
I'm just saying, like, essentially, like, this is your time to shine. This is your time to get revenge on all those girls that friend zoned you, that didn't like you, that did this and that, whether she's that type of girl or not. So you're hurting good girls in the process, is what I'm hearing. And you're perpetuating that toxic narrative that all girls are like that. And you don't really give a fuck whether she's a good girl or not.
So I don't think I've only time I've heard a girl is that I recall is when I broke up with my ex. Other than that, I'm very transparent with every girl that I've ever liked.
What does it look like? What does transparency look like to you?
So transparency looks like to me is you kind of letting a girl know where you stand with her. I usually, so for example, if I met a girl on a dating app, it's if you watch my videos, it's straight to the point. Hey, how are you? Good. How are you? What brings you to Tinder? What brings you to Bumble? What brings you to Hinge? And they'll tell me, and I go, okay. And they go, oh, you? I said, me. I'm looking to find a girl to kill time with, go on cool dates with, have a good time with. Now, now girls don't want full disclosure. You can't say I'm just looking to have sex, right?
No, but that's basically
so
it.
so yes, I made it sexy. I made it sexy. I'm just looking for a cool girl to have fun dates with, and we have fun together. Okay, I made it sound sexy, but translation, sex.
100%.
So
I would get that.
So they know most of the time where I'm at. Therefore, there's no mistake. Because one thing I don't do is I'm down to have sex with a girl that's on the same page as me. Now, if I wake up next morning, good morning, my king. I hope you're like, okay, all right. I feel like now there's feelings involved. I'm gonna have to give you a legit FaceTime call. I listen. Before this was just cool. I can tell like our vibe isn't the same. Now I feel like you kind of like me, and I don't feel the same way. So I want you to invest more time in me. With some women who are crazy,
FaceTime call.
I'll call them, yeah, because I want to meet them in person.
All audio or FaceTime?
FaceTime. I see the face.
Damn. Listen, as you should. And guys, I think this is something that
you should make a TikTok on that. That's what you should make a TikTok on.
This is the harsh reality of it, because this is behind the scenes, honey. This is exactly what you're doing, and this is what you should be doing. And we are 100% in agreement of that. You should lay down the fucking law. However she feels, unfortunately, is how she's gonna feel, period. And that's not on you, right? So 100%. I'm gonna go back to the first point that you said.
Yes,
once I get taller, once I get my hair grown. Didn't you just say that guys and their looks don't matter?
True. Okay. Go on.
So I think what happened was you gained confidence based off of bad experiences, which is fair because we've all gained confidence based off of shitty experiences, right? Through feeling like shit, through being rejected, through all that shit. That's when you build experience and that confidence, because you're left with either I sit there in my own shit or I get the fuck up and I learn from my mistakes and I grow the fuck up. So what our bottom line in all of our videos is learn about yourself. Trial and error. Experience is the only fucking way. Because if you're out here looking for a formula, if you're looking for an answer from Simona or Eden or Chad over here, and you're going to apply it to your life directly, you are going to fail every single time. Why? Because it's not built for you. It's built for Chad. It's built for Eden. It's built for Simona. It's built for people like us, generally speaking. If you are going to apply it to your life directly, you need to know who the fuck you are, first and foremost. Yeah. Second of all, you're going to need to experience this shit and be able to handle rejection. And I think that this is the biggest issue with men nowadays, right? Because it's all ego driven. So the way you guys date, with sex being at the forefront, which is totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's your mission, make it be known and own it. Own it. Be confident. Understand that if your ego is at the forefront, which it normally is, know that rejection is something you're going to have a hard time with. And to know how to deal with rejection comes with confidence and security within yourself. And I don't care, blame her, him, whatever, it comes from you. The way you view women is more about you than it is about women. Period. Right? Or the way I view men is more about me and my experiences than it is about women. And I'll own up to that, because I used to go around saying I hate men until I found a few men that were a diamond in the fucking rough. Absolutely. And now my opinion is 100% different. And I am able to say, hey, listen, I came from a shitty place and I generalized men, which I don't respect at all now. But now, like right now, present day, I'm like, listen, there are some good guys out there. It is a chase. It is hard work. It is effort. But at the end of the day, it's fruitful for me because I learn about myself. So I think
Absolutely.
that's bottom line what You're Blocked has always been about. It's not just about dating and fucking, which we love. However, it comes full circle. So if you're going to be out here talking about first dates, my intention with dating, that says more about you, where you're at in life, than it does about anything else.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
Good point.
Yes.
I feel like you want to move on, and let's do it.
No, well, yeah,
What is next for you?
so good point. So Eden
Okay.
brought up a good point about look. She's absolutely right. I feel like when we're
Perfect.
young, high school, and like middle school and high school, girls aren't.
Mentality's different.
It's different, right? Guy, you only have your looks and your clout in a
Yeah.
way. But
No, nobody has their looks.
yeah,
And if you I'm just sorry. Side note: if you have your looks, you peaked, and nobody wants to peak in high school. Like,
true,
nobody
right?
wants to peak in high
So, but when, for example, now you go to like a nice nightclub out in Toronto, you're gonna see girls like yourself with average-looking guys who are rich, successful, right? So I'm like, so the
Yeah.
most beautiful girls will be in the sections. The girls who are by the bar be like average, right? So those women are when those sections are there because they're with the winners. They're the winners. Not winners as in they usually can provide well enough to buy $4,000 bottles of
Yes and
Yes,
no.
yes and no.
you can,
So,
you can, go on. You
again,
can
it's so
critique that.
difficult to like 100%. I see where you're at, but I'm gonna tell you, as a woman that goes to clubs and fucking hates clubs, and I see the girls in the bottle sections, I can tell you that 23-year-old's not with that 65-year-old because he's got bank. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he could. Well, actually, no. Let me
Yeah, I was
rephrase.
like, hold on.
She's no. She's with him because he has bank, yes, 100%, but that's all he has. So she's attaching to him out of lack because she can't give herself that. So she's like, I need this man. I don't care that he's 65. I don't care that he's nasty when he's naked. I'm gonna get drunk. I'll sit on the dick. I'll fucking get the money. Like 110%. Like those girls are like that though.
Those girls though.
Those girls.
And so here's what I've learned, right? As both of us entrepreneurs doing our own thing, as we've grown up, although we've been fed the narrative that you should be with a man who's financially secure, stable, can provide you, can all this stuff, that's no longer at all what phases me. I went on dates, we both went on dates with NBA, MLB players. We fucking said it on a video on YouTube. We said it. Can I tell you how dry she was down there when they opened their mouth? And the money was not enough to make me excited whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because where am I at in life? And I'm not saying I'm above every woman. I'm not at all. I have a lot to learn. I've made a lot of fucking mistakes. Absolutely. However, I realized that money, which I was with a guy for 5 years for money. Let me tell you that. Okay?
Money, honey.
5 years in an amazing relationship. He was a great guy. Nothing wrong with him, but he was financially secure, not attractive, nothing special in that regard, right? But fulfilled me in every other way, emotionally as well. I'm not going to say he didn't. However, the money after a certain period of time expires, doesn't fulfill you. And that's with experience. So any girl that's out there chasing a guy who's not good looking and using him for his money, that is what you can call, and I don't care if
she's using a fuck girl.
She's a gold digger. And that is a term that girls get mad about. But no, if you're acting like one, you're playing into that. So absolutely own up to that. Like we said from the get-go, we don't need a man to be attractive, but that's not because he has money behind him. That's because his personality and his confidence is a fucking one.
It's not even that. I think that girls are looking, it goes back to what you're looking for, right? Like it depends on the girl, depends on the guy. What are you offering me? Like you said in the beginning, what are you offering me? What am I getting from you? Type of transactional. But if you're a guy, and I know that a lot of younger guys watch your podcast and they listen to you and they watch your TikToks. And I know that you've said they're younger. So I just want to let them know long-term what is going to benefit them. And the best game, honestly, that is timeless. When you're 17, when you're 65, if you hone in on your emotional intelligence, stability, and maturity, girls will flock to you.
Guys hate those terms because they don't know what it actually
and
means.
I know it's difficult for men honing in on your emotions, talking about your emotions, understanding that. But as women, we're emotional beings. And because very, very few men are able to do this, when a guy expresses emotional maturity, I don't fuck on the first date. I don't usually fuck casually ever. if you're emotionally mature, I'm already wet. Like, I'm done. I'm down. Let's do it.
And it's Simona. And let me tell you, she really does not.
Like, I don't.
Do
it's
that.
just on my vibe. But that's what women want. So it's in part, yes, what do you want? But also, if I want a beggar, what do I need? And it's and this is universal. I'm almost universal. I will literally stand on this with everything, and I won't take it back. Every single girl, 110%, you give her emotional intelligence, she's fucking down.
All right, so let's
talk about. And if you want to fuck, down.
All right, so let's talk about emotional intelligence. I made a video, I'm not sure if you guys saw it, to where I tell men not to really get too emotional with their girl they're talking to or girlfriend. So let me to explain why. Yeah, so here's the thing. I don't care if you get emotional to her once a month, but if it's a weekly thing, complaining about work, complaining about how hard life is, crying about life, I feel like that will turn 10, if you put 10 women in a room, 6 or 7 of them off. Like, you know what, dude? Like,
actually, I'm emotional. 10 of them off because no, but it's because you're complaining, and that's not what emotional intelligence is. That's not what it is. Is if I'm struggling and I'm trying to relate to you and converse to you, dude, even if it's on a first date, we're trying to vibe and get to know each other. I'm telling you a little bit about my family history. If you can listen to understand versus listen to reply and respond, you're already 10 steps ahead of the game.
Woof, you have no idea.
You're providing me with valuable information, and you're making me see shit from a different perspective. That's attractive. That's emotional intelligence.
And here,
I don't want you to complain.
Right.
Do I want you to tell me that you're having a difficult time at work? Sure. But like, not all the time.
So here's, it's different between, like, think about it roles reversed, right? You don't want a girl sitting there nagging about how hard her life is. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Play the same game back. Because yes, while we are so different, the fundamentals are really the same. And I feel like a lot of guys are out here overcomplicating shit. Women are and you're going to be like, no way, they're not. They're very, very simple. They have needs too. They like certain things. They don't like it's very simple, right? Be a fucking normal human being, be respectful, be this, be that, be able to have a conversation with her where she knows your game. Because here's the thing. If you're going on a date with me and I saw your TikTok on this, and this is where I disagree a little bit. I get the tactic for those that are nervous, but if you're using this through and through, any normal girl who's fucking experienced, who you want, who might be an 8, 9, 10, whatever, who has been through the ringer, will read right through that game. And that game is, you're going to repeat my sentence and then ask me another question about that topic. Now, bring something new to the table. Just like how a lot of guys are out here being like, what do you have to bring to the table? Why am I always putting an effort? What can you bring to the table verbally and emotionally to me? And it's really not that difficult if you actually care for the human being.
Let's talk about it. So I often get told that I'm very personable by women. Why is that? Because I listen to what they say, repeat it, and ask them a question. For example, Eden, let's talk. Eden, so what are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about your blogs. I'm passionate about Simona. I'm passionate about my dogs.
So what made you start your blog?
We were in quarantine and we had Zoom conversations. I see what you're doing.
So I'm getting you to open up. And I'm not really talking, I'm listening.
Right, but I'm going to get weirded out after the 5-10 minute mark. When you're not contributing. So you can ask me questions, but it's not the Eden show, because I don't want it to be the Eden show, because I'm just as skeptical about you, because I'm a level-headed, for the most part, human being, right? If you're fucking around with a girl who's all about her, she's going to love this. She's going to be like, baby, bring it on. That's the type of girl, though. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm going to sit there and be a little bit more reserved, because this is the type of girl that I am. And I'm going to sit there and actually question you more so, and bring it back on you and be like, so hold up. It's all about me. Chad, let's talk about you, honey. So why are you so interested about your blog? Do you have a podcast? What's going on with you? What's going on with your life? Like, what's up with you? Like, when did you get that car? I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to spin it on you.
And it's interesting you said, because I've always remember, I think I remember legit one girl, I've probably been on hundreds of dates in my life. One girl asked me questions back that were not generic. I was like, damn, I never had a girl sit here and ask me shit. It's most of the time me asking them, because in Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it said people love talking about themselves. And I took that very literally.
Right, and where?
How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's by Dale
Is
Carnegie.
this a book?
It's an amazing book. And it basically talks about like, you know, human dynamics, how to treat people. And he said people love talking about themselves. So I took that very literally. And now I go on dates with people. I make them talk about themselves. I only talk about myself if you ask me, right? Because here's what happens. You probably been on dates with guys that will sit there and blab their accomplishments, blab what car they drive, blab about where they've been. You didn't ask. So now it seems like now they're trying to sell themselves to you. And that's a turn off to a lot of women. I ask girls all the time, what's your number one turn off? And it's not them pulling their dick out, not them trying, the guy trying to fuck him at the end of the night. It's he was trying to sell himself to me. He was talking too much. So I'm like, yes, I'm right. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to listen, asking good questions. And if she asks me back, I will respond. But I'm not going to talk about myself unless I'm wanted. And I much rather have her find out. Like, for example, I'm signed to a modeling agency. Okay. Like I'll be out, like one day girls, dude, I saw you on at Target, like on a billboard. Yeah, I model. You model? Like girls love finding things out about you that you could have used as a flex, right? So it just goes back to men, shut the hell up and let her speak. And if she wants to know about you, she'll ask.
Listen, you've got a point there, but the point isn't black and white. The point is gray, right? So it's all about moderation. So if you're going to say 80-20, which I know that you said in one of your TikToks, I'm not shitting on it. Like I respect that. I get the point here for those who are really new, who have never experienced anything, who are really nervous. Fine. When in doubt, pull questions from what the fuck she's saying. Absolutely. But if you are going to run that conversation just like that on the first few dates, there's going to get to a point where she's going to be like, I already know this game. Also, kind of sketch fest that I know nothing about you. I'm going to leave here being like, I spoke about myself the whole conversation because all he asked was about me. He never contributed. Although, yes, the girl should be asking questions back.
She
should be asking questions back. But I also think that if you want to speak about something, and like I said in the beginning or in the middle there, it's about connection, right? Like we're on a date to connect on some level. So if you say something, like if we're on a date and you say something and I'm like, oh shit, he has a podcast. Like I can do a little shameless plug and like let him know that I also have a podcast. Like that's a connection moment for me. I don't want to miss that because like that's a connection that could make our conversation so much better. As a man or you as a woman, whoever's doing the most talking, also tap in. You don't want to be the person that's doing 99.9% of the talking. You want to try to connect. That's what we're here for.
And here's the thing. If men already know, because this is literally scientific fact, if you already know that women, it's all emotional, whether it's sleeping or dating, hone in on that, right? So make that connection. Like Simone said, the connection is what is going to get her from being your friend to being more than your friend. And that could be just up to fuck buddy, because she might be having the same intentions in mind. That is going to be so valuable for you. If you're going to sit there and ask her 21 questions and play that fucking game with me, I'm going to be like, yo, really? Mm-hmm. And that is about quality of woman. I'm not saying we're top dog here. I'm just saying that we've been through the ringer, so we fucking can read right through that. So if you're going to fuck with a girl who has experience in bed, who has experience with dating, who like is essentially what you want, right? Like you want that. If you're going to invest time and money and whatever into this on a date, $5 coffee even, you want to make sure that it's worthwhile for you, right? You want something like you said from the get-go. So you're going to be trying to fuck with girls who already know your game, to be honest with you. So if you're going to do 21 questions, just know, she's going to be turned off by the end of the night.
Depends on the girl.
Okay, so here's the thing. 21 questions is, for example, Simone, your turn. Where are you from?
My turn. Oh, Toronto.
Toronto, okay, cool. What's your favorite food? That's 21 questions.
Right.
It's a change of the subject, right? Let's stay on one subject. I do my best to, and I'm like legit, I find a subject way passionate about, I'm going to just squeeze it out, get as much as I can out of you. And if you flip it back to me, oh, so what are you passionate about? Okay. Now I'm to blow out the water.
You won't ever, even if you find something where there's like the podcast thing. Let's say we're on a date and I mentioned the podcast and you know you have a podcast. You won't bring that up.
Here's the thing about my podcast. It's controversial to some women.
So everything is ours. Bro, I'm controversial without the fucking podcast.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? At some point, we got to draw the line and we got to just, what are we here for? And I feel like if you're here to just fuck, you're not going to draw that connection. You're not going to draw on that connection. If you're here for a connection, you're going to draw on that same similarity that we both have a podcast. Or am I wrong?
I could, but the only thing is, I just don't talk about defund simping. I let people find out about it.
Even if it wasn't defund simping,
Okay.
Even if it was a fucking,
oh, I would for sure. Yeah. Fitness, like a fitness. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would.
But
yeah.
Also, don't you think it's important for the girl to know that at some point? Like,
at some point, they're gonna find out.
Ask you about your job. What are you gonna say?
I'm a videographer full time. That's my business.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I much rather have a woman, because it's happened to me before. A girl I was dating found out about it, and she wasn't mad about it because she knew me. She said, if I just saw the videos, I wouldn't like you.
110%.
But the fact that,
love you, got love for you.
Yeah.
Ooh, amazing love.
Yeah. So I much rather you know the person and not the internet personality, because internet personality, I do what I do because I know how to gain attention. Right.
Okay, here's the thing.
Oh, wait.
Here's the thing. Hold on. Quality, right? So it's like, for example, when I went on dates with a few guys recently, I didn't tell them about you're blocked because I was worried about what they would think. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. So I just let it out and aired it on the table. They already met me. They already met me, right? They already met me. They knew who the fuck I was. So that wouldn't have swayed them if they were a decent human being. If they weren't a decent human being, it would have swayed them. So that's how you filter out. That's your filtration process. So you being honest and transparent is actually you filtering it out. Now, here's the thing. Even if you just want to fuck, you want the drama of a girl who doesn't know about this and then finds out about it later and then comes to you and throws that on you and be like, what the fuck? Oh my God, you didn't tell me, what the fuck? No, you don't want that headache. You want a smooth fuck. You want to close the door. And you want to end the game. So being transparent literally sets you up for success, right? Which is what we always preach.
I feel like women and men are different. Like legit. Let me be honest with you. You could honestly, this is extreme, but you're attractive. So you can legit be in a rap group talking bad about black people. I'd still fuck you because it doesn't matter to me, but with women, it's like they need to feel connection, then the sex. Well, men don't need the connection. They can just have sex.
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm saying is like, if I tell people about defund simping out the gate, dude, legit, a girl found it and canceled our date. Legit. And here's the thing. She wasn't hot, so I don't care.
Go on. My question for this is, it's more so personal, I guess. I don't know if it's like really like podcast or like content for this episode, but it's just like, is your podcast not an accurate reflection of who you are as a person and your beliefs?
No, it is accurate of my beliefs. Here's the thing though. The whole red pill thing, it's a mindset, right? I'm speaking on this mindset in the public eye for millions of people to see, right?
So you don't actually identify as it, or
I do identify. I do. Here's the thing. It's like, for example, how do I say this in the best way possible? What I'm trying to say is, when women meet me and they go on dates with me, they don't know what I know. I just do it. But like, because everything, like the whole red pill thing, it's all like, they're not physical things. They're, hey, listen, bro, this isn't your woman. Eden's also seen talking to 5 other guys. Don't fall for her so quickly. That's a mental thing. She doesn't know that I know this. She may sell the dream to me. I've only slept with like 3 guys. Red pill me saying, I know this is a lie. I know this is a lie. She has multiple sex partners. I just know that that she's saying this. What'd you say?
I said, how do you know this though?
Because I've studied women. I read books. I listen to podcasts.
I'm so sorry. I need to burst your bubble. That's bullshit. That is 310%.
No, women lie about their body count all the time.
Yes, no. Women, 100% they lie about their body count all the time. But what you're doing is you're taking concepts from a book so fucking literally and applying them to real life and reteaching people. Whereas I feel like if you want to read a book to educate yourself because you need to know what the fuck is up, great, let's do that. Let's read the book. Let's generally understand the concepts and principles within the book, and then let's apply accordingly. Because you can tell when you meet a girl from the first moment what type of fucking girl she is. 110% you can tell. So for you to just sit there and assume that she's lying, or assume that her body count is higher than what she said, or assume you're just going to make an ass out of you and her. Like, you actually don't know shit at that point. You're not allowing the girl to do her part, which is let you know what she's into, what's up, and who she is. You're going into it categorizing everybody as the same based on these principles and concepts. And for me, that's my biggest like roadblock with all of the concepts and everything here. It's so literal. And when you apply things literally, I feel like you're always gonna fuck up.
Like, I get the whole, like, no, it's not shitting on you directly. It's just in general, because that's what we've found, right? Like, I've read 1,000,001 books, and I've read the red pill theory and all of that stuff, and I've looked into that, and I fuck with it to a degree, but I think that anything too extreme or anything one-sided is never successful, right? So when you factor in somebody else, or like maybe here's the thing, like, I could look at you, right? I could know about your podcast, and I can make an assumption. A really, really not great assumption, right? Like you could do for ours. 100%. A lot of guys look at us, and you should see the comment section. I'm sure you've experienced it too. It's like next level. You don't even know me like that though, right? But you're making that assumption based off of your shitty experiences, based off of how you feel about yourself and women in general. And that's what you're projecting onto me. So that's projection, right? So that's when I think theories and all this stuff is unfair. Like, you could look at me and say my body count is really fucking high. Like, shocker out here, it's actually not as high as a lot of you guys think, because I'm very fucking selective. I'm very, very choosy and picky, because I've gone through things that's no one's business that I don't like. I'm not inclined to do that.
I just want to hear like what you think about this, or like have you elaborate on that first.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. Yeah. Why do you think dating coaches exist? Because women aren't keeping it 100 with men. They aren't.
Okay. Oh, I'm like getting a little bit irked, because it just
They aren't.
Dude, you cannot sit here and say that it's just women. Hold on. Sit here and say it's just women.
I'm gonna tell you why dating coaches exist. I'm gonna tell you why you and I exist. I'm gonna tell you why everybody on here giving advice exists. Because people who are insecure, right? This is what we pry on, not intentionally. You're insecure because you're not successful in dating. You're insecure because you're not bagging the woman you want. You're insecure because you're not actually winning by these theories or games. So you're desperate to find somebody who's going to tell you like it is and give you a formula. Reality check. There is no formula. And that is what you learn real quick out of anger, out of ego-driven fucking bullshit theories. Because bottom line, there is no one lid that fits every fucking pot, right? There isn't. So that's the reality of it. So if we're going to sit here and blanket anything, it's going to be a fucking issue for everybody, right? Because everybody's going to have exceptions to the rule and issues and problems, which I'm sure you've experienced too with comments, because we have 1-minute TikToks, we have 30-minute YouTube videos, and we're like, we can't fucking factor in every single issue or problem or situation, if and or but, because that changes, right? So we can't say one thing for everybody. And that's the reality of it. That's why red pill, although I've been called the red pill fucking queen on TikTok, I don't categorize myself as 100% red pill, as you, I'm sure, have been able to nitpick, because I can't categorize myself possibly as one thing at this age, because I know that's going to change. I know based off of experience it's going to change, and that's the reality of it. That's the real true red pill, man. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. So
I want to address Simona's point. So I feel like here's what happens to men. Two things happened to me that changed, that made me who I am when I was younger. Disney movies tell men, listen, if you chase, you have her in the end. Forrest Gump had Jenny at the end when she had AIDS from the Black Panthers, and like men are seeing these movies and go, if I just keep going, I keep working at it, I'll have her in the end. Men do this, and then they get friend zoned by some women. Some women, keep the comments down, right? Then what happened? This will happen to me. Chad, you're a great guy, and the guy I'm dating is such a jerk. You should never be like those guys. Be you. You're great. So now those women are doing, they're teaching these men to not be like the guys they're having sex with. That's what happened to me. And all the guys, I'm like, dude, DMs are full with these cold conversations, right? So happens is, so women are teaching men in the friend zone to be like these little puppies, right? For them. Then eventually the man has an epiphany. Wait a minute. Girls are sleeping with the guys they're complaining about. And my head exploded, right? So then what happens is women weren't keeping it 100 with me. They were teaching me to be the guy they like, but not the guy they want to be intimate with. So that's what I'm
Right.
saying is a lot of women are not keeping. No, can you say men? Of course, there's plenty of messed up men in dating. But I feel like if women said come out and the national came on every TV, men master being hot and cold. You're a little bit hot and a little bit cold. Too much cold? No. Too much hot? No. You must be in the middle. Dating coaches would be screwed because like, damn, girl, they gave the sauce away. So that's why I said when I was saying to Simona is that a lot of women aren't keeping it 100.
I get it. Like 110%. Girls aren't keeping it 100. Guys aren't keeping it 100. At the end of the fucking day, to be honest with you, everybody is accountable. Men and women together as a fucking unit, as an individual, as a person on this earth. I just didn't respect the fact that we were going in on women when it's mutual. It's both men and women. Let's take accountability here. Let's not be narcissists and play the blame and shame game, because that's a whole other topic that I'm just don't want to get into, not really vibing with.
Let's talk about. So how did men mess up dating? How did men mess it up?
What do you mean?
So, for example, I said women messed up dating for men because we watch these.
Because we're not keeping it 100. But guys also mess up dating by not keeping it 100. I think that for me personally, my disconnect is that these are such big questions, but there's so many underlying issues that need to be addressed and talked about before we get to these issues. So for me, because I'm a bit of a deeper person and I really do want to give the best, fullest response that I can, it takes longer, and I need to backtrack, because I do want girls that were in my position that just like you said, Disney movies taught guys, Disney movies taught girls that you need a man, but at 17, girls and boys want different things. So, and it's hard as a girl to wrap your head around that. You think that if you sleep with him, that if you have sex, it's going to give you this thing. It's not going to give you that thing. So generally speaking, I'm personally at a disconnect because I don't know how else to offer this or what new perspective to give on this whole dating coaches, why they exist. I personally, yes, people's insecurities, sure, let's categorize it at that. But I think at the end of the day, dating coaches exist because everybody wants somebody they relate to. You've been through this? Oh my God, thank God, man, me fucking too. What helped you? What worked for you? And that's why they exist.
That's the application process. Now, if we want to talk about who started this terrible cycle, it's both, because it's a circle. So men could have fucked up or women could have fucked up, but then men reacted and responded, and therefore women responded, and therefore men responded, and therefore women responded. Where do you consider the starting point? There is no starting point. I've been sitting here for years trying to figure that out, right? Being a woman who used to hate men, who now loves men, who has a younger brother, who's dating, who's fucking amazing, whatever.
Right.
Okay. Who have been through I did bad things to men. They did bad things to me. I've been on both sides multiple times. So I fucking know both games. And here's the thing. There is no she or he or we or whatever. And
it's only you.
It's only you. Exactly. So it's just like, okay, listen, fuck what everyone's saying. Fuck whatever. What's my rhythm? What's my game? What am I going to do differently? How am I going to stand out? Because listen, Chad, you're going to hit on me at the club. You're going to be the 9th boy. Probably. Or the 1st. You never know. And how do you know? You don't know. So you got to come in with the mindset, just like I would come into you, because we also pull guys. We don't sit there and look pretty. We also make moves when we see a guy that we like too, because we're not going to let that opportunity pass as well, right? So we have to play our game correctly based off of what we fucking know. And that is through observation and experience and taking everything with a grain of salt. Because if you take a formula as X plus Y plus whatever equals
X
whatever.
X plus Y MX equals B or whatever we fucking learned in math.
It's not going to make sense.
So why do you, so there's the most popular book in the whole repo community is Rational Male. Why do you feel like that book was so successful?
I don't even know it.
I'll tell you why. I'll actually tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Okay, but I don't know it. So for the readers that don't know it, can we give them a summary?
I haven't read it, but I'll tell you, okay, I know the summary.
Go on. Okay, so
no.
Summary? Yeah, so okay. So Rollo Tomasi came out with a bunch of words and phrases that are new to men. The first thing is either hypergamy or hypergamy, however you want to say it. Women date across and up. They rarely date down. Is there exceptions? Absolutely. Most 100%. Of the time, women want a woman equal to them financially or above them, right? That's number one. Number two is female nature. Their nature is almost universal. Their nature, what's inside of them,
Yeah.
biology. So it's like, and he also got in lots of trouble for saying there is no one. Everyone, every guy or girl you find has pros and cons. You got to deal with it. There's no perfect one, right? So
Right.
that shattered a lot of people's dreams, right? And in the book he talks about these things about what, and then he talks about women's tendencies, which is the whole body count thing. They know, women know, the higher their body count, the less desirable they'll look to men. So they'll usually fabricate that, right? So that goes back to, said to Eden. She says like three. I'll go, okay, for sure. But in my head, okay, she's dumbing it down a bit so she doesn't seem as bad. So this book was it's an awesome book. They did really well. The reason why men in it are loving this book and it works for them because they're applying it, right? I applied the blue pill game, was getting messed up. Oh, I was getting tossed around the side. Applied red pill. My life has been amazing,
I'll tell you.
outstanding. And
Can I
why has it
tell
been
you?
that way?
I'll
Yes.
tell you exactly why. I'll tell you exactly.
Yeah.
Because y'all are out here, like I said, putting titles, which we don't fuck with. Red pill, blue pill, orange, rainbow pill, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay. Red pill is about, bottom line, came from the Matrix, right? That's where it came from. Everybody who doesn't know, red pill came from the Matrix. He was offered red or blue. Red is basically the reality, knowing that it might not be a favorable truth that he's going to live out, or the blue pill is to go back home and live in a naive little world where everything benefits him. Okay, so that is the two very different things we want to lay out here.
Okay.
Red pill. It's always nice to know that when a girl is not feeling you, she's not fucking feeling you, right? It's always nice to know that the reality is what the fuck it is. Whether or not you like it or don't, it doesn't matter, because this is the fucking truth. This is facts based off of what you see, what you observe, and how you take in reality, your perception of it, which is anyways already subjective, first and foremost. Okay, so the red pill theory. I only realized that the red pill theory had, or why I fucked with it, was because it would tell men fundamentals, don't look at specifics, fundamentals, to be firm, assertive, to be decisive, to be what we consider a man respectfully.
Basically, now, to be in their masculine energy, their divine masculine energy.
Which is great. But because when guys hear masculine, they think macho, asshole, bad boy, they think all of these stereotypes, which is not true. This is where things go south. And they're out here being like, well, I've read the book, I've listened to Chad, I've listened to Eden, I've listened to Simone, and nothing's working for me. It's because you yourself have no application skills or critical thinking skills, because your reality is different than ours. And also the way you perceive your reality is different. So it's one big mind fuck, in my opinion. So that is why I believe that the red pill has some great fundamentals. That's why, Chad, when I watch your videos, I'm like, yes, I could agree, but then it takes a turn because I know it's appealing to men and it's different, right? Because girls then look at it and can't digest it because we think differently, like you said, okay? So there's always going to be a disconnect to a degree. And the only way you can succeed is if you're able to digest women, digest men, their point of view, his point of view, and collaborate the two and apply it. Yes. Now, the application process is where guys get fucked up because they want a step one, formula, step two, logical, step three.
This, then this.
Here's the thing, Chad. If you played your game and then Bobby over here played the same game that you played,
Bobby would lose. Bobby would lose.
I'm going to be like, that's Chad's game, though. That's not Bobby's game, because I could tell. Right? My game that I teach girls or that I teach guys is not going to work for everyone, and I'm well aware of that. Because why? Because they're not trying to fuck me, Eden Middleman, right here. Good luck finding another one. You won't be able to. That's what the big mind fuck is. And that's why a lot of people feel some type of way. So the red pill community, I appreciate to a degree. However, there is a big rabbit hole where, and this is where you get those comments, which I understand why to a degree. I just think that people lack critical thinking skills. It's the misogynistic point of view. There's a lot of guys that act like they're fucking feral, grown up in the fucking forest, who are just mad at women.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're out here mad at women and you think you can play women, you're chasing the pussy, bro. How could you be mad at women? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want women, act like you want women. Don't act like you hate women. And I think guys get that confused. Chad, I'm not saying that you do that at all, because I know that you're a respectful human being and I really appreciate you and all that you do, and absolutely the way you speak and compose yourself. You've got game 100%. But I think that guys, what they do is black and white. And women are more into the gray because it's emotion. And if you are able to enter the gray and understand the gray and actually gain power in the gray, that's when you win.
Got you. So I'm not sure if you answered it, but why, I'm trying to get to a point. Why do you think the book was so successful for men?
Because it taught them about the idea of, first of all, to be firm, assertive, and be respectful and confident human beings. I think it's confidence.
Okay. Okay. Got you. So
I
it's
don't
funny.
think it's about being a dick, and I don't think it's about owning women. I don't think it's about taking advantage of women or coercing women. If you do it that way, you're going to get bottom feeders, bottom feeder women. And you're also not going to be successful as a man. You're not going to gain any respect.
Got you.
Period.
I feel like everyone who reads the book interpret it differently. You know, there's like 800 pages and everyone interpret it, differently. Like how
Right.
you can watch my video, this guy's an asshole. Another girl watched it, this guy gets it, right? Everyone interprets it differently. So my point is,
How did you interpret the book?
how did I interpret the book?
Yeah.
I interpret the book that um I interpreted the book that I feel like this is how it really is, because I've seen DMs, comments, and my personal experiences wrap around the things he said. So the biggest thing, the disconnect between us is I'm 1 + 2 = 3. You're like, no, it's not that simple. It's so if like most men, like you said, like it's black and white. With women, it's gray. So if Rollo Tomasi is saying this is how it is, I'm gonna apply it. It worked once, it worked twice, it worked 3 times. Dude, this may be just an all-around truth. But you guys say, no, 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 it's not always how it works. I think the book was successful because in order for a book to be successful, you have to be right with what you're saying. And if it's sold over 1 million times, you change 1 million lives. What This book has to have some type of truth. If it was trash, no one would buy it. So I feel like
I think it feeds into, and again, no disrespect, I think it feeds into ego, and I think it feeds into insecurity, and I think it actually provides you guys with a place of comfort. Like, for example, when I reach for self-help books, right? When I'm in my lowest of the low and I've gone through shit in my life and I read it and I apply it directly as is, black and white, step 1, step 2, step 3, and I hope that it works and I do see results. I'm like, oh my God, it does work, and there's my hope, because I'm begging for hope, because I need that hope, because everything else didn't work.
My thing is like, is there ever a time or a girl where that book, those steps, whatever the game is, didn't apply? It didn't apply. It didn't pan out. Was there ever
one time? One girl. I can think of it right now. One girl. Yeah, one girl.
And what kind of girl was she? Like, I'm not trying to shit on her.
Exactly. I'm just saying, I'm trying to like allude to the quality here. Like, because if we're going for the same girl all around, like, of course you're going to get the same result. But when you step out, I feel like different result, different girl.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to discredit the book. I'm just trying to make an assumption, right? Like, or not, sorry, I'm not trying to make an assumption. I'm trying to like show you an example of where it would be different, where it's not always going to be like that. And you know what? You could just have really good application fucking skills. It could come from the fact that you know how to fucking communicate. It could come from the fact that you're so confident in your own skin and who you are as a man. It could come from so many other things. Do you know what I mean? It's like a combination of things that just work really well together.
Or when you're saying you're 24, when you were 22 or whatever, prior to that, it was difficult for you. You've just grown into yourself, man, and it shows. That could have been the book or could have been yourself, right?
Yeah,
like, we can go and just poke holes in all of this, right, through and through. But all I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with the book. There's nothing wrong with theories generally, but learn to know how to critically think and apply.
Yeah.
And vet
for the younger boys, like
so
when you make your
TikTok.
Yes. No, I didn't have a question.
I
did, but
yeah. So no, I'll answer it. It's actually a good point. So this girl was drop dead gorgeous, skinny waist, fake tits, juvederm, blue eyes, like just drop dead gorgeous.
Love to see it.
Right. But then what she was a bit more intelligent. So she was into she was trying to become pre-med, right? And one thing I didn't do, which I was against, was I much rather have the woman bring up the commitment question than me, because in my past 3 girls that when I was younger, every time I brought up how I felt, they left. Not that like that day, but like things slowly fizzled, right? Every time. Okay. Beautiful, gorgeous girls I just couldn't get. So and because I always brought up the feelings, right? With her, I said, okay, this girl, she's cool, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna wait a bit longer, because I feel
Okay.
like there's 3 stages of a relationship: the honeymoon phase, which, of course, everyone knows what that is, and then the imperfect phase
Okay.
was where, in the imperfect phase, is three to four, 3 to 5 months, whatever. People who fear intimacy will leave to go start a new perfect phase with somebody else, because if they feel themselves getting too close, they're becoming too vulnerable, and they'll leave to go somebody else. I was
Okay.
trying to see if I can get out that. If I can, I told myself, if I can get out this phase with her, I will bring it up. I'll break my own rule and I'll bring it up, because this one's a diamond in the rough and I'll take a chance on her. So I didn't bring it up. I was gonna surprise her to go jet skiing out in Newport. She bailed on me because she found a guy the night before and went home with him. And then she bailed on me because she was still at his house the day of our date. And that let me know she, okay, and then she told me, hey, I'm seeing somebody, which is that guy she met at the bar the night before. So that let me know that she restarted our relationship. No, she wanted to go back into the perfect phase with somebody else. She found a new spark, a new thing, and went back to him. She called me a week later, gave me closure, and said, listen, it was either you hurt me or I hurt you. So I chose to hurt you. Right. So if I brought feelings, could I have had her? But that shows the quality of girl she was.
It's hearsay because you don't even
Yeah.
know. You could have said that and
Yeah.
she could have just been not ready to commit. I
Yeah.
think that dating is taking a gamble.
Yeah.
I could be talking to you for 5 months. I could fucking really vibe with you. And then I meet Eden on fucking number 6, like month number 6, and she's the one. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, this is why when we talk about dating and relationships, I always focus on internal work, because everything internal, family, how you feel about yourself, the relationship you have about yourself will inevitably bleed into your dating life and the partners that you choose, right? Everything that we're going through internally, whether subconsciously we know it or not, directly affects the partners that we choose. So it's important. I'm not trying to defend that girl. I think it was a shitty fucking move. I think that that was fucking offside 300%, but says more about her than it does about you. And I wouldn't say, I mean, I can see where you find the connection, 310%, the honeymoon or whatever that phase was called, from the book to reality. It very much seems like that happened. It also seems like a fluke. It seems like a coincidence. It just happened to be.
Well, Chad, I'm going to also say something too that I've had to swallow. That's been difficult for me as a woman as well. I've been into a guy, right? He played every move perfectly. Everything was wonderful. I was fucking obsessed with him, I have to say. I was like, this guy is it. This guy is it. I can't wait. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm not like that. I am not like that, as you got. I mean, you can tell by her reaction.
I think context is important here, though. So I'll let you finish.
So no. So hold on. So I was into him, whatever, regardless. Okay.
Crazy. Sorry.
With everything being said and done, right? This guy decides to get up and fucking leave. Here's the thing. What I had to swallow, being me, right? Some people are just not going to fuck with you that way. And that kills people's ego. Even though we vibed for the first date, 2, 3, whatever, she realized by literally the 4th date, at the end of the date, at midnight, at this time exactly, that you know what, man, I just don't fuck with you like that. And that is the reality that a lot of guys get fucking butthurt over and then start blaming people for, because they can't take accountability, or they can't just say, you know what, rejection, bro. Roll it off my fucking shoulder. I'm confident in myself. I did what I did. I had some fun times. It is what it is. It's a learning experience. Now I know for future how to move. And if it really didn't change your moves, then it is what it is. It's a fluke. It happens. But a lot of people make assumptions. And this is the fucking issue. You make assumptions based off of 3 bad apples, because hey, there's a lot more bad apples out there than there are good. And we've both experienced that. Boys and girls, doesn't fucking matter how you date. That's what happens. And so it's really easy for girls to say, I hate men. It's really easy for guys to say, I hate women, because you've fucked around with bad apples. But what does that say about where you're at in life? What does that say about who you attract? What does that say about how you deal with rejection and how you pivot from that? Do you know what I'm saying? That's huge. And that's what I learned not too long ago. And I'm actually very happy and proud of myself, because I realized, you know what? Half of it was me, half of it was them. And it is what it is. Sometimes I'm just not that person. Right. I'm not their person. That's it. There's nothing to explain. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So, let's get into the next subject, which is, the very popular phrase men use to women, which is, don't ask the fish Ask the fisherman. So you can go ahead, and you've been waiting for this one. So go ahead and give your perspective on that comment.
Okay, listen. So this thing, I actually had to research because I was like, I never heard of this phrase in my fucking life. Did you? The fish? Don't ask a fish. You heard of it before?
Yeah.
I've never heard.
I thought that's why you made the video.
Bro, I've never heard. No, I made the video in response to, I made a TikTok video in response to a fucking guy who went ham in the comments. I mean, amongst other guys. Don't ask a fish how to fish, right? That's the saying. Okay, so here's the thing. Guys are out here saying that. I get that the fisherman is the one that's skilled, knows how to fish, right? But how do you know what a fish actually fucking wants than the fish itself? You don't know. You put in a worm because it's attracted these little guppies for how long? Right? You've been sitting there with your little clear, transparent little fucking whatever it's called, and you sit there with the worm, right? And you bait them in. But to me, what that says is I'm coercing women, and I'm not trying to make big assumptions here, but you're coercing women for the fish to be caught, right? Which fish ever said he wants to be caught? None. Which woman ever said that she wants to be caught or coerced or deceived with a transparent little worm? None. I understand that the theory and the strategy of men being like, listen, I'm a dude. I'm trying to fuck around with women, right? So we're on the same page here. Here's the strategies that have worked for me. But like we've already said earlier on in this episode, what works for you is not going to work for Johnny down the street necessarily. That's not his style. That's not how he fucks with. That's not the woman that he fucks with. So what's to say that this fisherman with this specific worm is going to catch the specific fucking guppy he wants to catch? Do you see what I'm saying? So this is the big issue for me. I would love it if you explained kind of like where your point of view on this.
So I wrote down the word caught. Now I'm going to explain what I think you mean. But so for example, think of the bait as the man's game, right? This is my game, and hopefully she bites. Right. And if I'm fishing, for example, let's just bring a whole scenario now. Let's say from 18 to 22, my bait's in the water. Come on, like I'm nice. I'm giving her reassurance. I'm taking her on dates. I buy her things. I walk her to English class in the morning, and I'm late for my class just to walk her. Like, come on. And this guy hit. I'm like, fuck, like he's killing over there. Like eventually, I'm like, I'm done. I dropped this pole. I'm done. Bro, fisherman, what do you know? He goes, you want to know? All right. Here's what I know.
Okay.
So it's I get what you're trying to say, but here's the thing. You are familiar with red pill. Therefore, I can trust your game. You told your own brother, stop spending money on these bitches. so I know.
But here we go. Bitches, right?
You said that. You said that though. I
know. No.
Okay.
Oh my God, Chad, no. Chad, no, he's already scared of us. Okay. No. I'm not saying you said bitches. I said bitches, and I'll own up to that term absolutely. Because if you're out here using my fucking brother, you're a bitch. Absolutely. If you're using any man, you're a bitch. Absolutely. What the hell? Of course. I'm not out here gonna be like double standard. No. Right? That's why I'm so forward about paying on dates and whatever, because I don't want to feel like that bullshit. I don't want to hear none of that. Oh my God. I don't want to hear that bullshit. I don't. So that's where I'm coming from in terms of that. Don't waste your fucking time on bitches you know are bitches. You don't know they're bitches. You don't know they're bitches. That's a problem with you, sir, because you need to know how to comprehend how to read people. And that is experience, right? That is experience. That's how you read people. Those are common fucking skills.
They are. I also think that like the fisherman or like the guy, like to a certain extent, it's also your responsibility and role to pick up on the fish. How is the fish behaving? How are they acting? Are they giving you the right signals back? Are they swimming closer? Are they swimming away? What is the vibe there? I feel like it definitely, I see both sides here. And it all depends, to be honest, on the fish. What type of fish do you want to catch? And what type of fish are you catching? Totally different, right?
Yeah, if you break it.
Because if you want to take that analogy super literally, when I stick my bait in the lake, I'm getting the stupidest fish, right?
I have to say, because that's just
the smart fish already fucking know.
Well, the smart fish are still getting banged.
Here's the thing.
100%, but they're not getting banged by that fisherman.
True. So I go that fisherman and find out what does he know. I think that's the whole point.
Okay, so the fisherman that's sitting there and putting bait in there, you're baiting women, you're coercing women. So if you want to coerce women just to get a fuck, what kind of quality fuck are you going to be having first and foremost, right? You're going to be sitting there quantity versus quality. If that's what you want, man, you've never had good sex in your fucking life. And I'm going to be the first to fucking tell you that. Because if you're out here literally coercing women with like a little like 1-2 game thing that you learn from online, you literally have no game and a girl can be right through that. And the only person that's going to sleep with you is a low fucking bottom feeder. Bottom feeder. You want her to get freaky. You're going to spend so much time researching game, learning, putting in the effort. When I meet this girl, this is what I'm going to do. Hold up, for one night stand, that's going to be shitty as fuck.
The game, I think for me, at least, the bottom line of what I'm taking from this conversation is game only works on the right fish. You know what I mean? Like for each fish, you need a different game. You need a different bait. You need different food. You need different, because every fish is different. I'm thinking, you know what I mean?
Like I had a girl on here.
The same game on everybody.
Yeah.
For example, I had a girl on here that was opposite to you guys. She said she only wants her, for example, she said she likes to date high value men. So she said she's not interested in a coffee. She's not interested in like boba. She wants a steakhouse. And if you're not giving her that experience, she doesn't want you. So would my game work on her? No, because I'm not taking you to steakhouse. I don't freaking know you.
Right. She's telling you, and
She's telling you a lot about herself. That statement tells you everything you need to know. And if you're a smart fucking man, you're running in the opposite fucking direction.
And I would tell my brother that, listen, no disrespect, because every girl at different stages in her life wants different things. And that's no problem. I'm a woman. I fucking love women. God bless us, whatever, all that shit. However, like I said about the whole brother thing, I'm not going to tell him to fuck with that girl. I'm like, she's literally telling you forward, right here and there. I want you to spend bank on me. And if you don't spend bank on me, I'm not going to fucking touch you, because all I care about is your money.
That's so great, my honey. Let's go to ice condos downtown, Bay and Bloor. Like, let's hit it up. All those mans are down there.
You know what I'm saying? So again, what you need to go into dating, we always say this. What is your intention?
Yes. What do you want?
Sex.
Guys, what do you want?
Who do you want?
You want sex? Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about how to run game. Let's talk about what the fuck is up. You're dating to be serious. Different game. Let's talk about what the fuck is up. You want just good fucking game in general? Then I think this is where you need to talk to both, yes, men and women that have game, that got game.
And
do you know what I mean?
And have you ever heard the phrase that goes right back to the whole fish thing?
I have not, no.
Actually, the fish don't actually want to be caught. And that's the thing, right? It's like the fish don't actually want to be caught, but you're playing game to deceive them to be caught. The only reason why the fish takes the fucking worm is because it thinks it's being fed freely, without any obligation, without anything in return, without all of that stuff. That's the only reason why the fish goes to the fucking invisible little rope situation string and eats the fucking worm. So if you're out here deceiving women, yeah, great. You gotta fuck a shitty, boring Patrick the motherfucking starfish fuck. She's gonna be boring as shit in bed, sir. And you've spent so much time working yourself up for that. Great. Now what? You're gonna deal with the fucking drama of the girl who was just like, you just deceived me into fucking you. I thought it was this. I thought it was that. You played this game. I thought it was, you weren't transparent. You didn't communicate. Now, Chad, I commend you for admitting and for saying the way you communicate and the fact that you're transparent. That's great.
Like I really love that. And I think that, like I said before earlier on, just because I always like to think, like, whether you like to date, to fuck, or whatever the case may be, like, and nobody's discriminating, nobody's fucking judging, like, it's everybody's life. Do you, boo? Love to see it. I just think long term, let's at least build on some life skills here. So like the communication, I think that I'm a huge advocate for communication in all areas of dating. So I really do love the fact that you said you would FaceTime or call the girl and tell her what's up when you got the vibe that you were thinking she likes you after you fucked. Like, I love that. I love to see it. And I think that is so important. Like, you want to talk about all these other concepts. That's great. I love, like, do you? Mm-hmm. I also think, like, instill at least communication in these men, in these young men that are looking to you, that are watching your stuff, because you need to be held accountable at some point for your actions, right? Like ghosting people, that's not a vibe. That's not cute. That's not cool. Says more about you. Obviously, we know than it says about them. I just think that if we want the world as a whole, and like, I'm really reaching here, but it's important to be a better place. Let's at least be better people to each other. So like, I want to be inside of you, but I'm not going to extend the courtesy of calling you and letting you know what the fuck is up. give me a fucking break. Do you know what I mean?
So let's talk about communication. I was listening to actually Willow Tomasi, the guy who wrote Rational Man. It was a piece of podcast, and he said communication. What you said about the whole like letting girls know what it's almost like this. Women like it when men communicate to them, but there's a lot of women that do not like communicating the other way around. So you like it when I communicate to you, but some women don't like communicating to men. For example, and this is like a almost like a duh, but it's true. Let's just say I would text you, hey, are you free this weekend? Yes, I am. Okay, cool. What do you want to do? Turn off for most women, right? Are you gonna tell me, hey, bro, you should ask you like, are you gonna critique him and communicate with him how you want to be treated? No, you want a man just to get it, right?
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna agree with you. Yes, I want to see where you are gonna take this.
Yeah. So most of the time, women just want a man who gets it. Women don't want to give a PowerPoint presentation on how they want to be treated. They much rather a man just get it, right? So yeah, so it's like with the word, so the word communication, women like it when men communicate with them, but as far as communication the other way around, they prefer you just get it, and if you don't just get it, they'll move on to someone else who does.
Okay, so I'm just gonna.
Oh, sorry. Just for clarification, what do you mean? So I like it when you're doing all of these things, so I don't like it when
you have to communicate to me.
In what regard? Like
so when I give an example. So
like when I have to tell you what to do?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
so I'm gonna agree with that.
Yeah. So for example, like think about it roles reversed as well, right? If you have to tell someone what to do and then they do it, it doesn't feel as good, right? If you're like, get on your knees and suck my dick, like let's say like worst case scenario, if you say that, first of all, fuck you, not cool. But if you say that and she does it, it doesn't feel as good than if she willingly does it, right? Just to put it for the 17-year-old brains out there, that's what it is. I get it. Listen, I'm not shitting on you. We've all been there. Okay, so great. That's the situation. So it's the same thing with women. So it's not like a new concept. Nobody should be like, oh my God, what the fuck, first of all. And second of all, women who don't communicate are just as much to blame as men who don't communicate. I'm not out here saying women should not communicate. I don't think either of us are saying that. However, if you're sitting there being like, well, how do I play this? What game should I run? Yeah, obviously,
I want to know.
Fucking tell you.
I just want to know was there a question you had for us here? Because I 310% agree with that statement.
No, there wasn't. Basically, because I think someone, as you guys talking, I write words down. So I think someone said communication. I go, ooh, let's talk about communication, because I feel like it's women like it when men are communicating to them. But a lot of women don't like it when they have to communicate to a man how they want to be treated.
And I totally get that. And I think what I could say to that is the reason why in that specific, I mean, women love communication, point blank, period. But specifically in that regard is because you're dominating your most authentic masculine energy, which is being decisive and assertive. And women like that, predominantly strong, independent women. Like I would say, like people generally like us, maybe. When you're handling shit left, right, and center and you're going out with a guy, I love it when a guy is super assertive. I don't really like it when it's like, are you free this day?
Whimsical.
I really like it when when it feels concrete and it feels tangible, feels real for me. So if you're like, listen, Saturday at 7, like, are you free? I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Like, let's fucking do it. Like, you're locked the fuck in. You're in my Google Calendar. Like, it's done. That morning, you follow through with a text. Like, I'm totally 110% down. Like, it's happening. It's going down. Women don't like that floppiness, that, right? And you say you want to get pussy, right? Like, just talking about game now. I'm trying to, like, make this tangible for the guys that are trying to fuck, right? And you want to fuck on the first date, let's say. You do all these steps, like she's actually going to come through. And if you give her good conversation, if you take all these great pointers throughout this episode that we've dropped in, if you take all those good things, you apply them correctly to the girl, you're going to get fucked. It's going to happen.
If you do it correctly, right? Like if you do it with low confidence, if you do it with a fucking paper in front of you and you're this and that, then obviously not, right? Like it has to come naturally to you. I got to be convinced almost to a degree that it's genuinely like who you are and what you want to do and you're doing it from your heart, right? Like that's what makes me feel good and that's what makes me feel comfortable to fuck someone, right? Because like we said, like it's a whole emotional game for us. Like,
yeah.
Don't make me feel like you're out here with one mission only, even if that's what it is. Don't make me feel like I'm less of a fucking human being and I'm just a hole to fuck, because a lot of you guys do that, and that's not fucking cool. And here's the thing, is she also wants to fuck a dick too, right? It is what it is. There are people that feel mutually about this, right? So I think that ultimately, like, with this whole situation, I feel like if guys are going to be out here playing, like, girls want communication and don't want to do communication return, but like, here's the thing, offer her a chance to communicate with you. And that means, like, if you want to know something, then make it be known that you want to know something.
Yeah, I feel like,
because most women who are independent and confident will make it known and will show you rather than tell you.
Not even that. Like, she doesn't even need to be independent. I think that even if she's a more quiet and shy, reserved girl, you just asking her, like, when you ask somebody, you generally, for the most part, depending on the girl, like, let's take a few bad apples, you get an honest answer. Do you know what I mean? So I think everything, from what I'm gathering from this conversation, comes down to perception, communication, and personal experience. And then depending on the theories that everybody has taken that feeds the narrative of what they believe. Mm-hmm. But I think that what I would like to offer to everybody that has watched this episode is that there is not necessarily a right or a wrong, but take what resonates for you, what works for you, and leave what doesn't. Like, that, I think, is the foundation of any dating coach, any dating expert, anybody giving advice. Mm-hmm. You gravitate to what works for you. But the best individuals, I believe, take both sides. They see both sides. Valid. I get it. Wrong here. But hey, this is my medium. This is what works for me. This is my game. This is what works when I want this. And this is what works with that. And it's all trial and error.
Yeah.
Taking rejection with grace, you know. It doesn't always need to be a no. Doesn't always mean that it's you. It could mean that it's her. Man, she's had a bad day. You're the 9th guy. Who fucking knows? Roll off your back. Keep going. Right. Take the L, and let's keep pushing.
So could you imagine, last note, fisherman knows what the fish wants to. Eesh. Double fucking threat. So if you take into account both sides and you take what works best and you apply them and you try new things and pivot with every situation, every experience, even if it's negative, and you're like, you know what, this didn't work, so let me try this. Let me pull in this, let me pull in that, and see what works for you. I mean, don't you think the odds of you being more successful will be higher?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So like, here's the thing, like, me and Simona, we're out here also listening to men. We never say that men shouldn't talk about what men want, right? Whereas I hear a lot of guys saying women should not talk about what women want because guys know best. No. I know that what a man tells me right now on TikTok or whatever could be his point of view for that specific type of man. I'm going to take it into consideration. I'm not going to apply it to every man. I'm going to take it in, though, right? Same with women.
Right.
Got you. You made a point. I wrote it down because there may have been a contradiction. So make sure we're on the same point. You said, I can't feel like a hole to fuck. What do you mean by that? I know what you mean, but like, I make sure I know what you really mean. I can't feel like a hole to fuck.
You cannot be out here treating me like I'm an object, period. Because I'm
okay. Gotcha. So my thing is, that's why I believe that men can't be too transparent with their intentions. They have to make it sound sexy.
But like you said in the beginning, though, like when girls are on Tinder and you tell them that spiel, we know what's good. 99.9% of girls, like, we know what's good. We know what that means. We've decoded it. Do you know what I mean? So you've said it without actually saying it.
Chad, I'm just going to correct myself. I did make a mistake, because if I don't want to be a hole to fuck that night, I don't want to be a hole to fuck that night. If I want to be a hole to fuck that night, I will be a hole to fuck that night. That's what I mean. So I mean, like, there is a lid to every pot. So if you're the lid, if you're the guy that wants to fuck and use me as a hole, and I want to be used as a hole that night, then that's what's going to happen. We're going to be the perfect match.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah, true. Facts.
That's 100%. What I mean. Sorry. So I want to clarify that. You're right. It wasn't a blanket term at all, because if I don't want to be treated that way,
Yeah.
If I don't want to get fucked one night and be a one and done, then I'm not gonna want to be.
Depends on the night and depends on your mood, your vibe, your energy. I mean, let's bring it back. It just depends, right? Because you could want that Monday and then Tuesday you're like, nah, fuck this.
I want a husband, you know?
Absolutely. So, another great point that I saw on this podcast, on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Yes, these girls a great question. Their head exploded. So he said, how would you feel if your boyfriend or husband, you found out he wasn't banging other girls, he was buying other girls Chanel bags, buying other girls Birkin, and I'll see all their faces like this disgust on all their faces, right? And he goes, okay. He hits this little button that goes like a little scratcher. That's how men feel when their girlfriend shows her body on social media.
She what?
That's how men feel when men show their body on social media.
I can't hear. What were you saying?
That's how men feel when their girls showing their body off on social media.
Okay, so then don't like it though. So then don't be.
So when other girls are posting it, don't fucking like it.
Here's the thing.
Do we see how we're entering another toxic cycle of this and this and this?
No, I'm confused. If I'm dating Eden, okay, I'm paying for her bills. I'm putting a roof over her head. Like this is scenario, okay?
Okay.
Her best loyalty to me is not being a freaking hoe. That's her best loyalty. So she's showing off all her titties and her ass for other men, for validation and comments. It's almost like the same for me tricking off on other girls. It's like,
so then pause.
I get that analogy 110%. I want to validate you and say that, yes, I get that. Mm-hmm. And what I'm going to say is the couple in question here needs better communication skills.
That's right.
Because if she's on OnlyFans showing her fucking ass, her titties, all this shit, then you guys need to have a conversation. Because if that's the way she's paying her bills and you're not cool with that, let's discuss. Let's discuss.
If you date a girl and her tits and ass are all over Instagram and you expect the minute you fucking date her for her to change her ways, that's a conversation that needs to be had between you two in the fucking private, behind closed doors. Because here's the thing, you can't expect her to change if that's what you fucking sign yourself up for. Now, if she just started doing that while you're dating, different story. I don't agree with that. 100%.
It's also like, what did you expect to happen though? Like if she was doing this prior and that's how you begged her and you got her, like what did you expect?
Well, good question. So for me, I go to clubs and bars for women. I don't go to clubs and bars to talk with the boys. You can do it at your house, right? Girls, we go for girls. So when I started dating my ex, I adjusted my lifestyle for more of a relationship type of man. No more bars, no more clubs. So I adjusted my lifestyle for her. So when she is like, we only got in one argument, is legit one time, is when she was at this, I think it was like a Drake show. And like, I think like Roy Woods on her, like those boys found my girl, invited all her girls backstage. Now, mind you, it's Drake. I get it. But it's like, damn,
good.
like
that's all I wanted to hear. Cause I'm like, come on.
I know it's that, but it's like they have, like, she should have like used to take, I think I've had to find out like through Instagram story that she was back there. I'm like, oh,
okay, that's not cool. That's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Right. So it's like, so basically I'm going off tangent. Basically I'm saying is you would hope.
Fine. This is experience though. Yeah. This is good.
Yeah. You would hope that a woman would adjust her lifestyle when she's now off the market, because some girls are still marketing to men with their body while being in a whole relationship with a man.
Chad, this very point, this specific situation, I 100% agree with. I personally 100% agree with.
If
Drake and Roy Woods and I had a man at home and invited me backstage, I know why they're inviting me backstage. Because I'm hot.
Exactly.
I'm hot. I'm not stupid. I know you want to fuck one of my friends or me or whatever. And if I consent to that, I'm saying yes, that's a possibility. I am not stupid. I would never do that if I respect my fucking man.
Yeah.
Period.
100%.
Period.
Point blank period.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Again, there's a lot of girls, and I mean, like, man, everybody, to be honest with you, like, gets fucking starstruck when these guys come into town, these athletes or these fucking big Drake, bro. Oh my God. Yo, Drake, I love you. Like, I'm down. DTF. Like, man, what's good? I love to see it. I get it. So these girls, they get starstruck and they forget and they get blinded by that fame. And it tells you so much about the fucking girl. It tells you so much about the fucking girl though. Do you know what I mean? Sorry. If I'm locked in with you and I know this might sound like I'm bullshitting, like I'm fucking just saying this to seem away. I swear to God, hand on my fucking
the Bible,
cross, the body, whatever, whoever's up there.
Yeah.
If I'm locked the fuck in with you, my man, I totally appreciate the drink. I love this. I got a guy at home. Like, I just want you to know what's good, what's up. My friend, she's single, DTF. I love to see it. I'm coming backstage to support her and make sure she's fucking good. But I'm off limits. Like, I'm off limits. Like, my man, you see this? He's my screensaver. We love to see it.
I think.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that at the end of the day,
quality girl.
Communication and quality girl. If she doesn't tell you this, if she doesn't converse with you, if she doesn't think that there might be something that makes you feel some type of way, that's a bigger issue, point blank period.
Because you know what? I think that at the end of the day, any human being, like yourself included, like, I don't know, who's the girl that you think is hot that would call you backstage? I don't even know. Kim Kardashian? I don't know.
Sure,
I have no idea.
Sure. Kim,
okay, sure. Let's say Kim K. And you're dating your girl and you're locked in. Like, what are you going to do?
I couldn't do it to her because I just couldn't do it to her because I feel like here's the thing about girls. They're petty and they'll never let that down. So I would make sure that I don't do that because she'll never.
But then you're not doing it because you genuinely want to do it. You're just saying no to Kim because you don't want your girl to be petty then. I'm
doing because I'm trying to be a faithful dude to my girl. And I'm obviously like that's the obvious answer. But I know if I do this, it will never be, even if I do nothing with her, I know that will never be let down.
But hold on. So also guys too, what do you mean? They're going to catch a fucking mood. They're going to be all this type of way. They're like, well, hold up. You went last night out with fucking Drake. I'm about to go out with my boys tonight. Don't tell me I can't go out for boys tonight. They're going to be just as petty too. It's the same thing because again, we're human beings who are valid with feeling this way. If you're going to disrespect me, unfortunately it's a little immature and impulsive. You're going to sit there and be like, well, I want to disrespect you to show you how it feels like.
I have a final note on this. I just feel like if you're on social media for validation, you shouldn't be dating because you're fucked.
That's it. Period.
Point blank period.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. It's that conversation with those girls, it blew their head because because oftentimes like these conversations never get had, and with the whole men and women thinking differently. This is what they said, not my words, his words. Men show their loyalty by supporting you financially. Roof, bills paid, right? That's how that's a man's full commitment to you. And a woman's commitment to her man is not sleeping with other men. Now, this part is very controversial, but if you have a man making 100, 150 and up, there's a possibility that you may end up sharing him. And this makes women go crazy. I understand why, but this guy said, which you've heard before on TikTok, when a man cheats, it's just sex and women do it emotionally. So what are you guys' thoughts on the whole men cheating and just different than women cheating type thing?
I disagree. I actually disagree. I think that, okay, hold on. First of all,
let's gather our thoughts.
There's like so much. There's so much to this.
This is such a big question.
It's a big question.
I'm like, condense it.
Okay, listen. In terms of sharing your man financially, which was your first point, I'm gonna say this: if my man is being shared financially, I don't want him because I'm not in it just for the financials. If you're in it for just the financials, girl, you can
expect that. Then you can expect that,
girl. You sign yourself up for that, girl. You fuck yourself over. You're coming from a place of lack. That's your decision on you, so deal with the consequences, point blank period. I think that a man has an obligation, just like I have an obligation, to fulfill him emotionally so that he doesn't have the fucking urge, emotionally and physically, to not have the urge to fucking cheat, to not have eyes to see, because we have that connection. He doesn't want nobody else. He has no eyes for nobody else because we both fulfill each other in that regard, right? That's where I'm coming from.
Yes. I also feel like this kind of plays into the 80-20 rule a little bit. And the only reason why that's coming into my head is because I saw somebody on TikTok or a clip talking about, like, let's say we're married, right? Or you and Eden are married and you're 80% fulfilled, like 80% locked down. Everything is good. We're in love, or maybe we just love each other, because I feel like if you're in love, you can't really cheat. But anyways, 80% fulfilled. And then 20% comes along. I'm just going to use me as 20%, like, whatever. 20% comes along and I'm offering you 20% that you're missing. Okay. So I look really fucking appealing right now because I'm offering what you're not getting right now. But if we zoom out, which is important in everything, zoom out, I'm only offering you 20 fucking %. You have 80 right there. And I think that in any relationship, you're never going to always be 24/7 getting 100%. You got to be okay with that. You, as an individual man or woman, need to be able to fill that 20% on your own.
Yes.
Because when you expect 100% all the time from you, what am I actually giving to myself?
And also, hold on, if they cheat on you, if they leave your ass, what are you? You're zero. Because you've been building that with somebody else and not with yourself. So you can't compensate for that shit. So you're like a fish out of motherfucking water at that point.
Got you. Their argument was high value men are the hot commodity. There's this much of them and this many pretty girls. Therefore, it's like that. Like how you can watch the podcast. Yeah, you get what they're saying, right?
I totally get what you're saying. Like 110%. And I honestly say this all the time. Shortage of hot girls. There isn't any. Like there fucking isn't any, bro. My For You page, hot girls, left, right, and center. Hot guys, bro. I can't see one. Bro, I cannot see one. So like I 110%, like you're right in that regard. Like there is no shortage. But I think at the end of the day, it all depends on the guy, what he's looking for, what he wants, and the girl too. Like my girl, if you're good with just being a pretty face that gets Chanel bags once a month, do you, boo. Do you, boo. Couldn't be me. Don't think it will be. And that's fine. Mm-hmm. We want different things from our significant other. Mm-hmm. I can give myself the Chanel bag and maybe you'd rather, I don't know what you'd rather do with it, but you'd rather do something else with your own money. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to say this is going to be controversial, but I don't give a fuck. If you can make your own money, if you can buy yourself a Chanel bag, it's not going to feel as good coming from a man. It's going to feel better coming from you. And that's fact. Because you can't give it to yourself, you're looking for it in somebody else. And that's, again, like you said, coming from a place of lack. And that is a bigger fucking narrative that me and Simona have been trying to fucking teach women as well. Hello, come on. We don't need to be sit there like puppies relying for a man with financial stability. We also look for more than that, which takes a lot more, because it's easy for a man who has the money to go buy me a Chanel bag, but it's a lot harder for him to sit there and actually give me that emotional fulfillment.
Right, and be like, babe, what's wrong? Instead of just leaving his fucking black card on the table.
Yeah, and I've been there. I've been in that type of relationship, Chad, let me tell you, and it is not fulfilling at all, because I've been looking at other guys in the process, and that's not cool either. So I'm going to put that out there, and I'm going to own up to that, because that is the biggest issue. If you're out here thinking money's going to fulfill you in all regards, you're fucking wrong, honey. Yeah. You're about to live the worst fucking experience of your life. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you right here. Like it is, it's not cool. So I think that that's with experience. I think that that's with maturity, and that's with actually knowing your self-worth. If you think all you are deserving of is a Chanel bag,
one Chanel bag a month, my honey, we have to have a self-discovery class,
because there's nothing, right, more valuable and having a man fully committed to you and emotionally invested in you. There is
in every aspect.
So why do you feel like a lot of these NBA wives, NFL wives are okay with their man having these little sneaky links? Okay. You know, why do you think they stay?
Okay, so the majority of, and we talked about this in our Dating a Pro Athlete, the majority of women
on our YouTube video,
or what did I say? Anyways, who cares?
Yeah, it's all good.
The majority of women, when I've watched these segments where they talk about the NFL wives or the housewives or whoever, a lot of them are average girls, okay? Girls just like me and Eden, and there's nothing fucking wrong with being an average girl who begs an NFL guy. However, you're not, and I don't want to use this, I'm not trying to like rip on Khloe at all, but Khloe Kardashian is a Kardashian, right? So she has that name already. She is that mogul. She has that career, which makes it seem like, hey, if I beg this guy, I can still have this, and I can still do this, and I can still do that. And it's like, baby, unfortunately, you're just not in that celebrity realm. You're an average girl. So when you take an average girl and you offer her all these things, financial, financial, stability,
this romanticized version of it, you know,
this whole thing, like everything is covered. I got you. Everything is paid for. It seems it's so hyped, it's so glamorized, but you don't see that other half of it until you're in it, where it's like, he's out all the fucking time. He's committed to that game 24/7. Emotional support, 0. Mm-hmm. Like you figuring everything out, you being your own life partner, you being mom and dad at home for the kids, figuring out relocating, baby, it's all on you. Do you know what I mean? So it's like Instagram versus reality type thing. It's like, well, there's a disconnect.
Chad, it's the hype. Like, listen, if a girl was just like, yo, you could sit and do whatever the hell you wanted all day, and everything's covered and you do whatever you want, be creative, do whatever, like literally, like you wouldn't take, of course you would, because you're like, wow, that sounds so phenomenal. But then when you're in it, right, it appears to be, but then when you're in it, there's so much more behind closed doors that we can all not see unless you're actually in it to really know. And we know some people who have been in it, and maybe one of us has, and you don't know that. And it's not what it seems to be. There's so much more, right?
Why feel like they stay during the cheating? Because I know for a fact, like I know girls who know girls, and like they've seen LeBron, like LeBron James, like with women in Vegas. He has a whole wife, right? So it's like, where I think women stay in these relationships.
I think
it's personal.
Like, I think it's personal for sure, but I think majority of women that I've heard, like actual NFL women, like don't even know their husbands, to be honest. Like, I mean, aside from the fact that I'm not familiar with sports, don't even know. I didn't know this team exists. Don't know your husband. So I can tell that you're probably just like you were an average girl who met a guy, things worked out, you guys got married, he's cheating. I don't know if there's a prenup situation, did we sign, did we not sign? Regardless, let's not factor that in. What do I have to fall back on? Who am I? Can I maintain this lifestyle and this comfortability that I've been given by this other person? Mm-hmm. So you know what? I'm just going to stay. As long as you keep providing for me in the ways that you have been, I will figure it the fuck out.
And this is why we tell women not to rely on men for money, for this very reason, so that you're not stuck in an emotionally uncomfortable situation, mentally fucked up situation where you have to put up with shit that you would not want your own fucking daughter to put up with, because you have nothing to fall back on, because you don't have your own back. Yeah. That is why we preach that. Not because we're against men. We don't want men. We don't want, of course we want someone who's at the same level, if not more, whatever, just because of that reason, right? Like, let's say some people are okay with lower. That's fine. But that is why we tell women about the financials, right? To have your own back, to invest in yourself, put yourself first, so that you don't got to rely on anyone for that bullshit.
I also want to say that, like, the narrative that's idealized, like when you brought up LeBron James, like with women in Vegas cheating on his wife, like, I know who LeBron James is, obviously, but I never heard that. So I didn't know that. I was like, oh my God, wait, what? Because that meme that was, I don't know if you saw it, but it was like him and his wife, right? And everybody was like, yo, me and my man watching our kids. Like, everybody hypes it because it's like LeBron James and like it's like him and his wife. And it's just like, you have no idea the shit that goes on behind closed doors. You have no idea. True. And it's every woman and every man's choice to decide what they want to do in that moment, what works for them with the tools that they have available to them emotionally to cope.
That's right. Bottom line, we cannot fucking judge because we're not in that position. That's
true. Is there any videos that I've made you guys want to speak on?
I'm good. I really have to pee. Can we take a break for 2 seconds?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Do that. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I feel like, to be honest, no. I just feel like we kind of like got through everything in one way or another. Mm-hmm. So there's not really anything inherently.
Okay. Let's see here. I think of a popular video that I've made that made a lot of noise.
Yours?
I'm trying to think of a video that I've made that made a lot of noise. And if you don't remember it, I'll just reiterate it and we can talk about it. There's a video I made saying
you just cut out. I think our Wi-Fi. Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Wait, our Wi-Fi's
like cutting off. Frozen. Okay, now I see you.
Your internet connection is Eden took her phone with her and she's our connection right now. So that's why I think.
Oh, okay. So real quick.
I think that's why.
So I guess we can end on this. How do you feel about platonic friends with the opposite sex?
She's gonna come back right now. I feel like we'll get a good connection in 2 seconds.
No problem. I'll wait.
You good?
Just my dad called me. I think he has my car.
Okay.
All right. So what do you guys feel like? What do you guys feel about platonic friends of the opposite sex? Is it doable?
I feel like it's doable. Of course it's doable. Anything is doable, exception to the rule. My experience, it's only worked out once because I've ended up hooking up with all my friends. Like, to be honest, I'm just gonna fucking say it.
I think that it's a very I guess it's wishful thinking to like that you would hope that you could have friends of the opposite sex and all that stuff. I don't think that it's always successful. I think for the vast majority, you can say that it's pretty difficult if they're a straight, heterosexual person who is, friends with the opposite sex. I think it's difficult because at one point, like, we're wired that way. We always look at the other person sexually. Like, if I vibe with you, if I vibe with you, then like, why not give it a shot?
If you're my friend and I'm vibing with you, and like, back in the day, or like back when I was younger, like when we would go out to parties, Friday night, it's like us and the guys. It was like literally standard for me to like walk in and be like, okay, like who's like which one tonight? Like who's the guy? Like who am I gonna try to run game on? Like who am I gonna try to hook up with tonight? And like I always ended up hooking up with the guy that I wanted to hook up with. I'm not saying that like I had a good game or anything. It just happened like that. So it was like, if I put it out there, it almost inevitably happened.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? You know that like almost every guy friend of yours for the most part, unless there's different circumstances, like they're dating somebody or your family friends or whatever, things are wrapped up like that. Most often than not, it could become not platonic, right?
The potential is there, I think.
Always.
Is what we're trying to say. Like the potential is inevitably there. If someone makes a move, and we're both feeling it,
Yeah, because I've had girls try, and guys try to say all types of things like this is a way of like people love using big words on TikTok. On my comment section, like a trauma bonding and love bombing and all these new terms I'm hearing. And it's like, listen,
love
man.
bombing, so interesting. We were just talking about that.
All these different new words I'm new to, and I just feel like, listen, if we started off romantic, like we were on dates, and then you made me your homeboy, this is gonna crack eventually because it started off as a romantic.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then you made it platonic. So the romantic won't. It's never gonna die out completely. You know what I mean?
What's gonna happen is one of you guys is gonna get into a relationship. You're gonna get out of it. In the moment of weakness, you're gonna latch on to the person who you were once romantic with. Period.
It's also
usually,
I feel like it's situational. I feel like the potential is always there, depending on the time and the situation.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you guys want to speak on? Because this podcast is probably gone like almost 2.5 hours, damn near.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's been a lot. Like I'm so sorry. I was like just looking.
No. It's fine. Like, and it went by in the snap of a finger. I looked up and it's 1:30. So, is there anything else you guys want to speak on?
No, you wrap it up.
Yeah, I feel like let's wrap it up.
Okay. All right, cool. So, I guess the last thing I will say is I do appreciate you guys coming on. I feel like you guys offer a great perspective for men and women. Especially with the whole own finances thing. I feel like that's awesome, and I feel like I like girls who are familiar with the red pill because I can trust their game is somewhat true. When girls come on here and say, "Hey, if you just bring her flowers on the first day, you tell her you really like her, she'll swoon." Like, listen, that sounds amazing. It sounds perfect. I tried it, but
nobody wants that. Literally, nobody said this to Eden yesterday. I'm like, yo, I want a husband, but if someone did that to me, I'd be like, bro, fuck out of here. And like, honestly, like, who the fuck is telling men this?
Listen.
So like, yes, honestly, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, like men are definitely being led sometimes by especially another caveat. We'll make it real quick is like single mothers giving their sons game. It's like even though your dad boned me and got everything out of me, a whole kid and everything, but like I'm gonna teach you to be the opposite of him, right? Which is like maybe like a guy's a bit more like be more emotional, be more in your feminine, blah blah. And like
I saw that video and I just wanted to say that it's so I don't know that experience firsthand.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, it's extremely difficult because there are a lot of absent fathers. And when you don't have a concrete male figure to look up to that you either idealize or that you look up to for advice or that can guide you, it's so difficult because where are you going to get the truth? Who's going to tell you the truth? It's difficult. It's obviously skewed because your mom is like, I just want you to be a good boy. Yeah. And I get that, mom, because my mom's the same way with my brothers. I'm like, bro, don't fucking do that.
But hey, my dad was pretty absent for most of my upbringing with my brother, and my brother is pretty masculine, and my mom has raised him in a way where she's just like, you don't let a bitch use you. That was a term that was used in our fucking home for my mother and for
My
me.
mother.
No, I'm serious because
it.
I don't think that it has anything to do with an absent father so much as actually women who understand that concept. Now, I'm not saying all single women. I don't like saying single women, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
The categories are different, but I think what I would like to say here is I don't want to invalidate those single mothers, because 110%, 95% of the time when I read about that, they're giving their sons that game because the father was absent. And you can't neglect the fact, I think, that it impacts the men. It impacts the men, point blank, period. And I just don't want to invalidate that and those women, because they're trying to do the best that they can with the tools that they've got.
Well, it's more so
it's important, obviously, to have that man figure, but also inevitably the boy will grow up, hopefully, and he will find somebody that is able to give him that father-like figure and that advice that he has missed.
Well, the only reason why I think, and I'm just going to last note, I don't want to drag this on, but the reason why those women say that is because that man in their life neglected that part of being a man. And I think that to be a man is to be both that good boy and to be a firm and assertive and respectful and dominant as well, in a sense, and decisive. So I think that because that was absent, right, that's what she's trying to teach him, because she's like, well, I think it's just innate with men to be this type of way, so I'm teaching him the softer side, which is also just as valuable for a game and for anything in life, right? So I think that's where they're coming from. And yeah, that's all I got to say on that.
Got you. So lastly, real quick shameless plug, where can people find you guys on social media, etc.?
Okay, so we're at yourblocked_ on Instagram and on TikTok.
You are BLO. You not
yes. Thanks, Chad. Literally the letter U are blocked.
Yes.
We'll add it in the description here.
Yeah, I will add it in the description there. Okay, cool. So and you guys have a good rest of your day. And it was a pleasure speaking with you. I'm looking forward to you guys to all your success. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You too.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.